Hey guys, Anime Night here. I did not expect to go live, but no, this title isn't clickbait. This title just was made, and right now I am in deep shock, and I figure it would be appropriate to wear something that has been a part of my childhood and one of the most awesome animes I have ever watched. Growing up alongside Sailor Moon and everything. So the title is not, like I mentioned, it's not clickbait, it is real. I really wish it was satire or some kind of hoax like we've seen before. But Akira Akira Toriyama passes away at 68 of acute subdural uh, hematoma. Um, if somebody can look up, that what that is, that would be fan. Or you know what? I'll probably do it. But just to prove that this is not a joke, um, it's right here, like literally right here, literally. I Basically, he created Chrono Trigger, Dragon Quest. The list goes on and on. Um, and Dragon Ball, because this is very, very crazy. Uh, I I became a fan of Dragon Ball when I first saw Krillin and Goku at the time. Um, what an amazing legend! Created so many walks of life and everything, and I I am in complete shock right now because this is wild. Well, sorry, wild's not the correct word. This is very, very shocking. I'm terrible with my wording right now. I think he had a lot more projects going on because dude was constantly busy, and I really I'm in shock. One of the greatest artists out there and one of the greatest creators ever since. I would probably, I think a good comparison would be with Monkey Fist and Akira, because those would be like my two favorite creators out there in the anime world. And if you if you haven't watched Dragon Ball or Dragon Ball Z, I recommend those, like, as for some nice good old fashioned fist fighting um power levels and all of that. I it, it's so wild. This is gonna sting for a while. Hey Butter, glad you're able to come on by. Um Give me a moment. Yeah, this is. Let me. Yeah, this is literally his. Hey, Sailor Outlaw George. I'm. I know. I was literally watching a friend of mine stream when the news broke. At first, I thought it was like like hoaxes and everything, which sometimes does happen, and you pray and or if you see the name trending, like it's something that you do know, and you're like, and you drop everything just to look. This was one of those moments I really wish it was like an announcement of a new manga or something, but reality is a very scary thing. And Akira, if you guys would like more to know about this legend, hey Ghost, hope you're doing good, my friend. Give me a second here, guys. I'm gonna pull up some stuff so that way we can reflect on what he has done. Guy's been at it since 1997. That is insane. See, yeah, I was hoping it would be fake. Like just something like, hey, Akira Toriyama is coming out with a new manga or a spin-off of something else, or he's created a uh, or something. Hey, Test, from Japan here. Greetings to you from America. Yeah, as you guys could probably tell, I am trying very hard to keep my composure here because all of us are huge fans. I did not expect to do this. This was like impulse, and I figure I share my recollections with Dragon Ball and like why it brought me to the fandom. Sorry if my light is so bright. Give me a minute. There we go. Yeah, that's still bright. Fuck it. Um, yeah, this is because he worked on Our World, which is actually it was unpublished. It was a submission for a monthly Jump Award printed in 1983 and the Toriyama Fan Club newsletter. And this is where because he did Doctor Slump, Pola and Royd. Oh, this looks nice. Actually, I wonder if this is that almost looks I swear to God, that almost looks like um no he passed away from acute subdural hematoma. Yeah, basically I left an office today. I can't keep I can't keep working today. Oh, I know the feeling. I it's practically the same when Kotaro Miura died, the guy who is the artist of Berserk. Yeah, And yeah, here's Dragon Ball. 1980, 1983 is when it really. Oh, Dragon Boy. Never mind. Sorry, forget. Dragon Ball. Here it is. So 1984 to 1995 is it was 519 chapters. Dragon Boy. Oh, that's Dragon Boy. Oh, never mind. I then what? I'm confused. Um. Oh, is that what that is? Ghost, is that what that really is? Because that is terrifying. I mean, I heard of cerebral hemorrhaging and all of that, but not like this. Uh, I don't want to be that guy, but don't think it was him being overworked, was it? Well, I mean, we don't know how long he was sick with this. I mean, I do not know if this is caught. I mean, I really do not know where the like if this is. I don't know if he fell or hit his head or anything like that. I really don't know the details. We can't chalk it up to him being overworked because we all know he loved doing what he was doing and making so much. Um, I, I don't know, guys. I shouldn't be live right now. I'm trying to process this as best as I humanly can because the anime fan in me is crying right now because this man was such a legend. Like, if you were to name like the greatest anime manga artists out there, Akira Toriyama would be at the top. He would be at the top right now. I would, without a doubt in my mind, he would be uh, at the top of my. And actually, you know what? Hang on. Pony throat. Please tell. Hey, Sean Fisher. Hey, guys. I'll be right back 1 second, okay? I'll be right back. So, as you can see, I have season one of Dragon Ball, the complete season one. I recently just watched this and I enjoyed it so much because it's a nice reflection on life and on life and everything. Anyway, yes, I will because it's all the discs. Ooh, dear. Uh oh. Disc 5 popped out. Don't you just hate it when the disc pops out? Because this is all five, all five discs on in one season. I will probably gather more up when I when I get more time and everything. But Akira, Dragon Ball was literally my first my first anime I have ever watched. Oh yeah, Pokemon was really wild back then. It still is to this day. I'd say Dragon Ball and Pokemon really got their launch in in the 90s, like from onward, because then we had Dragon Ball Z. I believe almost in the mid 2000s, like at the start of it, because I do remember watching Dragon Ball Z when I got home in elementary school at the time. I remember the Frieza saga, the Frieza saga, and then it went into the Trunks saga right after that because it was the Android. It was the no, I'm sorry, it was the Android saga. My bad. And then later on, they did the Dragon Ball movies, which was the Tree of Might, Cooler's Revenge. Um, I can't remember if they did the. I can't remember if they did the brawling one for the Tsunami. I can't remember if they did or not. Uh, Tree of Might, Garlic Junior. Um, so many wonderful characters. And in the back over there, I have. If you guys weren't here for the birthday stream, I unboxed a Krillin figure in his battle armor and everything. Yeah, Garlic Jr. was pretty cool. He was a pretty underrated villain in my opinion. I liked him as a villain. Okay, and oh, it was the Garlic Jr. saga. Okay, because and then the cool thing is there he is. Speaking of Garlic Jr., focus. He's right there. And then I have these two right here. These two characters I do have figures of behind me as well, but I'm not going to delve into that. To be honest, I am amazed. I am not breaking down right now. I am amazed. But then again, it's kind of hard not to. But so let's go over more of his work because the creators you yeah, that's the scary thing. You got the guy who made Yu-Gi-Oh didn't pass away not too long ago. This uh, um it's just I feel like the pain and everything. I feel it. So apparently he also did Go Go Ackman, which was 11 one shots in V Jump, and then Kawa. Sandland, I probably have heard of, but and then there's Dragon Ball Super. He worked on this actually. This was not long ago. This remember guys, this was not too long ago. It just they, I think they're high Hypernair Forge. Oh, thank you for the name. Um, um, Pony, I know you're trying to bring a laugh into this, and I respect that. But welcome to the chat. Welcome to the stream, though. I appreciate the humor and everything. I appreciate you. Um, but yeah, this was not released not too long ago though, and um, I yeah, hi Andy. Yes, he did, and I am trying very hard right now. I am trying very hard to power. So he has passed away of acute subdural hemato- hematoma, basically brain bleeding. Hey, Geek Detective. Um, Glad to see all of you actually. Um, I I heard this news from a gentleman by the name of Hypnotic. I was watching his stream when it was dropped, and then I had to rush and look because we all know how Twitter is sometimes. Whenever we see our favorite people who we love in the anime, gaming, movie community, like our favorite actors, manga artists, whenever we see their name, we all have a tendency to rush over and look and see what the news is about. I really, really wish this was a bad April Fool's Day joke or a Twitter hoax, but this is real and it's gonna hurt for a while. Um, give me a second, guys. Sorry, I'm texting my friend right now. Hey, Soul Resonance. Glad to see you. Welcome to this very, very dark time right now. Okay, so internal hemorrhaging yikes. That's like a time bomb. Hard to tell if the person would be able to survive that. Plus the extent of the damage on top. How is that, geek detective? How how is that? How does that happen? Basically, is it caused by a fall or is it like accumulated over by stress or how does this work? Because this is I know cerebral hemorrhaging and all of that. I know that basically, but this is a bit outside of my medical knowledge of what I almost don't know. um, oh, yeah, we're just now me in a few hours. Oh boy, I'm okay. Let's see. So sometimes it can be from blunt trauma for the most part. If the damage represents oh, I wonder if if he fell. Actually, here I'm gonna put myself down here. There we go. I wonder if he fell or probably inadvertently hit his head on something because you know how people you know how we are when we're constantly on the move and everything. Hey, Bulb. Hey, Bulb Blue. Yes, this is a major shock to us all. Um, I I I am very shocked right now. Um, it's just me. For people wondering, it's just me tonight because I this hits more close to home because we're all fans here. This is gonna hurt for a while because he was such a great artist. I mean, look at his track record. He started in 1977. That was a wild year. Um, that's like it exploded in the 80s. This news is more hard proof of time passes than anything. Oh, I understand. Hey, Fizz Chozo Corner. Welcome to the stream. Guys, please post your anybody that's watching in the chat. Well, tell me about your Dragon Ball experiences and yeah, exactly. That's what I was hoping. Like or like an announcement, like a big announcement like, "Hi guys, Akira Toriyama here. I am coming out with a brand new manga pretty soon. It's going to be released this year." One of those things. You're not the you are not the only one. I think it comes as a major shock to anyone who exactly. And don't forget, he was also the creator of Chrono Trigger, one of my favorite one of my favorite I believe it's a JRPG. You guys can correct me on that if you wish. Uh Also creator of Dr. Slump. Uh and it's it's wild. And also, IGN named Toriyama as number 74 on their list of top 100 game creators of all time. Personally, I feel like that should be in like the top like 10, 15, maybe somewhere in there. 75 is way too up there. Yeah, there are a lot of great game creators and everything. No disrespect. Um, it's actually good. I enjoyed it. I like I mentioned. I have the how do I do this? Okay, there we go. I I have the complete first season right here. The complete first season. I'm slowly building up on the works and everything. Um, yes, it does, Test. Yeah, yes, it does, and I wholeheartedly agree. Time does pass because I just remember watching. Um, I remember watching Dragon Ball Z on Toonami in the early 2000s. I want to say 2003 or '04. It was I was in elementary school at the time, and I remember watching that. It was it was the Ginyu Force, and Goku was already on Namek. He was looking for Frieza, and then he took out the Ginyu Force. Well, almost all of them, but then there's the frog and everything. Sorry, guys, my brain is just if I miss it, if I'm not naming the characters, please forgive because it's hard for uh oh, actually, yeah, I agree. Okay, yeah, then that's a good thing. Okay, never mind. I retract my earlier statement then. Uh, let me look real quick. Let me look. Did he? Apparently, oh, actually, he was a character design for the Chrono Trigger and Dragon Quest. His notable works are Dragon Ball and Doctor Slump. So my bad on that. Apologies. And Blue Dragon. So he was a character designer on Blue Dragon, um, which came out for the Xbox 360. Uh, and of course, we all know Chrono Trigger on the beloved Super Nintendo. Let's not forget how Toriyama Courage offered me. Oh, yeah, that's right. He did encourage Kubo. Um, Wonderful collaboration right there. Oh, Ginyu is the character's name. Okay, I apologize. Hey man, also too Blue Dragon game. Oh, yes, for the DS as well, the Blue Dragon games. Yeah, you're right. Hey, Geek Hero. No need, yeah, I know, but hang on one second. I'll pull back the art. There we go. Sorry about that. Anyway, so yes, he was a character designer for the Blue Dragon role playing series, and Chrono Trigger. He was a character designer, but a beloved one. Of course, he did the writing of Doctor Slump, which is I oh wow, this one ran for 243 episodes. I might need to get this. Um, I heard it was pretty good. Uh, Doctor Slump, and then Dragon Ball and International Success, and there's shonen manga. Yeah, for the Super Famicom. Basically, it's the Super Nintendo. It's the Japanese. No, this is real. He actually did pass away. Um, I know it's messed up third fourth, but I really wish this was true. I just heard it from. I heard this news from Hypnotic and then a few other people, and I thought to myself that this was probably, yeah, he did pass away on March 1st, but they just announced it today. That's why it's so shocking. I get why though, because we don't know how it like how severe it was. Because as Geek Detective Pierce said, sometimes it can be from blunt trauma. If the damage represents a blood vessel, the damage can be feel even if it's a major artery. Also, it was internal hemorrhaging, but it's also called acute subdural uh, hematoma. Um, I let's see. Chrono Trigger is arguably one of the greatest JRPGs ever. Dragon Quest is one of the best RPG series outside fantasy. And Blue Dragon, you are correct, Soul Reticence. It's a great one. I know. And this is gonna hurt for a while. Hey, Bacon. I know this is. I. It's hard to convolute words into a passing like this. I wanted to keep in mind this was not planned or anything, but this news was way too much, and I had to come on here and share my experiences with the greatest creator out there on his work and everything. I personally don't know the man, but I know his work well enough to appreciate. I know not everybody's a big Dragon Ball fan, Dragon Ball Z fan. That's a-okay. We won't force you to watch it or anything. We won't do that. But at least once in a while, maybe. But oh no, you're good, Bacon. Thank you for dropping on by. I know you're probably busy, and I respect that. Poor one for the homies we lost. Yes, indeed. If it was eternal energy, at least we know it was hopefully painless. It would just be like fainting. That too. It could be that probably done in because we are human. We are human at the end of it all. And Akira was so busy. He was busy doing a whole bunch of stuff. Because he came back to Dragon Ball in 2012 because he came out with Dragon Ball Z with Battle of the Gods. And then the One Piece film Z, and he also collaborated with Ichiro Oda basically for. So imagine those two imagine that collaboration. At least we got the collaboration, and it was a well deserved because the One Piece one, that one was fun to watch. Impregnator Forge, I had felt something terrible happen a few days back. I I felt it too. Sorry guys, my No, yeah, you're right. So Resonance, you are not wrong in that matter. You are not wrong. Eh, Um, um, look, but let me know your guys' thoughts. What was he was working on Dragon Quest 12? Oh, he was working for Dragon Quest 12 and the new Dragon. Oh, he what? Oh, wow. So I believe so. Tess, from what you're telling us, is this new Dragon Ball movie? Um, and Dragon Quest 12 and the new Dragon Ball movie, I think, are going to be his final projects. But that begs the question, though. Who did he? I don't know if he chose the successor or not. Oh, for San. Oh, that's. I didn't hear that. This Impernator. This is first I'm hearing about this. Um, I would like to see a Chrono Trigger remaster. I'm sorry, remake. But if done, I really hope we get. I'm I would definitely buy it. Like without a doubt in my mind, I would buy it. Yes, indeed. What? But tell me, guys, what was your experiences with this? Like with Dragon Ball, anything? Just tell me in the chat. I would I want to I would love to read it. They just Dragon Quest Seven was a great RPG. Hang on, something new just came up. Hold on, let me pull this up real quick. Give me a second, guys. Um, okay, this is from Wario 64. Um, this is official. Dear friends and partners, we are deeply saddened to inform you that manga creator Akira Toriyama passed away on March 1st due to acute subdural hematoma. He was in age of 68. It is our deep regret that he still had several works in the middle of creation with great enthusiasm. Also, he would have many more things to he would had have many more things to achieve. However, he has left many manga titles and works of art to this world. Thanks to the support of so many people around the world, he has been able to continue his creative activities for over 45 years. We hope that Akira Toriyama's unique world of creation continues to be loved by everyone for a long time to come. We inform you this sad news with gratefulness for your kindness during his lifetime. Funeral services was held with his family and very few relatives. Following his wishes for tranquility, we respectfully inform you that we will not accept flowers, condolences, gifts, visiting offerings, and others. Also, we ask you to refrain from conducting interviews with his family. Future plans for uh, commemorate gatherings is not decided. We will let you know when it's confirmed. We deeply thank you for your understanding and support as always. Bird Studio Capsule Corporation, Tokyo. Loved Dragon Ball as a kid. My favorite act was Red River Army was pretty awesome. Uh I know. I haven't seen him in a while. Did yeah, yeah. The Berserk author that they didn't. Wait. Hold on. Let me look real quick. Uh, it was somewhere. I believe so, and also the creator of Yu-Gi-Oh, Kazuki Takahashi, did not pass away not too long ago, in less than 1 year. That is that is that is terrifying. Um, let's see. I'm gonna and apparently he also created he also to celebrate the 45th anniversary of the Weekly Shonen Jump, Toriyama launched a new manga series in its July 2013 issue, Jocko the Galactic Patrolman. This is it right here. I did hear about this one though, but I couldn't find it. I couldn't. It's a hard find, but I'm sure it's there. Um, Resurrection F was probably one of the wackiest ones I have seen. We're losing all the great manga artists. Yes, we are, and it's so sad. Um, I I am in so much shock right now because this I just gotten over um um damn it, I am forgetting the other dude's name. Oh my god, I am oh jeez. Uh yeah, I recently got over his passing, but this one's gonna hurt for a very long time. At the have guys, the amount, guys, I am so happy. Coach Red Pill. Wait a minute. Third, fourth, Coach Red Pill. Can you elaborate on that one, um, please? Please and thank you. Um, name sounds familiar. I'm just trying to remember where exactly. Um, because I don't know. Oh, I heard about that. Yeah, he was a content creator in Ukraine. Um, Fish Chozo Corner. Okay, that makes sense. Um, I so what was so to any Chrono Trigger fan, how how did you come across the game? I want to hear stories. Oh yeah, Jim, that was a big one too. Jim Henson. As you can see, I'm wearing my adult Gohan um, T-shirt that I got for Christmas. I'm Yeah, but the fact that they announced it, I wonder, if they were waiting. Let's see. Hey, Zombie Collector 2.0. Yes, he is the goat. He's the goat. I played the Dragon Quest 7 and Chrono Trigger ports on the DS. What was your favorite Dragon Ball arc? I would have to say the Red Ribbon and the Garlic Junior. And garlic and also meeting Corrin for the first time, and um kicking the crap out of Mercenary Tao. Just all appreciated. um but this stream is like more of like in a like people just coming together and everything. I appreciate it though, but my friend went looking for the set. Oh, oh, my heart. Oh, believe me, I would be too. Honestly, right now I would. That makes sense. In the thing, it did make sense. So appreciated. I appreciate that, Zombie Collector. I appreciate that. Um. Okay, so let's see. Zombie Collector, first DBZ game I had was DBZ BT3 for the PS2. We love you, Akira. Yes, we do. The first DBZ game I had was Dragon Ball the Legacy. Sorry, Dragon Ball Z: The Legacy of Goku 1, and then I had that weird card game where you battle with the cards and everything. That one. But by far, my all-time favorite is Legacy of Goku 2, and and the one after it. I think it was the Cell Saga. Yes, it was. The first one was unfairly difficult. I had a hard time in that damn temple on Namek. I had a hard time with that. Finding that last artifact. It was the green one that gave me the most trouble. Boo's Fury, thank you, Geek Hero. Thank you. Boo's Fury was awesome. DBZ and GT for life. It is unreal. Me and everybody else wished it was like a huge announcement or like one of those hoaxes that we wish it was just a hoax, a really bad one. But unfortunately, as bad as it pains my heart, it's not this. It's not. It's real. My my 4-star ball canvas grinder just arrived, and now I see he's. Oh man, zombie collector. If you have a Twitter, my Twitter account's the same as my YouTube. I would love to see that, my friend. Um, my DMs are open. You can send it there, and I'll look at it. Okay, would love. Oh, I agree. Um, I poured. Yeah. Hang on. Let me. Hang on one, one second. Um. Uh. I know. Why him of all people? God, me. Me. Uh. Sorry that I'm fine. I'm fine. It was just the wrong windpipe. Just the wrong windpipe. I'm fine. I'm fine. Just wrong windpipe. Hi, Fire Devil. Um, glad to see you, my friend. It's not. Hang on. I will. Oh wait. Give me a second, guys. Let me. We. That's my Twitter for anybody who wants to chat or anything. I I'm literally trying. I know I heard it. I first heard it from I was watching Hypnotic stream and that's when I first heard the news. Sparking Zero, Sandlands, and Daima sales. Well, yeah, there's that too. Oh, I agree. I agree. DBZ and GT for life. Actually, GT was not that bad. In my humble opinion, GT was not that bad. I do understand the hate though. I get why it was so hated. I I I get it, but and it's real easy to see like the hate and everything. But it's still a good show, nonetheless. Hey, Geek Hero.
Hey man, no, this is. Thanks for having me on. Yeah, this is a day of mourning. So,
Well,
um,
third, fourth, you are not wrong. Haters are gonna hate, and it's their opinion, and I respect it. I get it, but um, yeah, sad day indeed. Because I just read the little the official statement and everything. So
yeah, I've been on since you went live. I've been in the chat.
yeah, I probably look a mess right now, just trying to hold just trying to hold it together. Um.
I just got off work, so you know.
Oh yeah. I really wish this news was just like a celebrity hoax. Cause me, and so many others were so used to that. Like with the hoaxes and all that shit, and it's like, oh, it was a hoax. But it's coming from the official place, and once it's coming from the official place, then all bets are off.
Well, and that was the thing. I was hoping. I started looking around because it had happened. The release came about 20 minutes before, or I found it about 20 minutes afterwards. I was on a StreamYard backstage with another friend, and then we just kind of went our separate ways and decided we needed to check into all this.
Yeah, it's because I was watching Hypnotic stream. I was watching his stream, having a great time with everybody over there, and then this news hits, and I dropped everything. Like I legit left the stream to go look, because I'm like, wait, what? Because I saw the title, I'm like, that better be bullshit. But upon finding out it wasn't, um, Brandon did his thoughts on his own stream, and I'm doing mine because we're all here to sell. We're all here to for remembrance and a tribute to one of the greatest um, manga creators out there in over 40 years, and one of the greatest game creators out there from
Yeah,
character
well,
creation.
let's face it. Before there was Pokemon, before there was Sailor Moon, before there was anything else, the reason why people love anime as much as they do is because of a show called Dragon Ball.
Exactly. And I was looking through it, and Dragon Boy, I looked at both of them. They're eerily similar. But it looks good for what it is. Um and Chrono Trigger was a lot of fun, in Dragon Quest was, I mean, Blue Dragon was, I don't, that game does not get enough love in my honest opinion.
Well, my brother is a huge Blue Dragon fan. He's got them all. He's got the two from the DS as well, and he'll go to bat for Blue Dragon any day of the week. But I have been I'm a huge Dragon Quest fan. I've got the illustrations from Akira Toriyama, the art book. It was just it was cool because back then he he was still working on Dragon Ball, straight up Dragon Ball, and then they see that and they're like, all right, well maybe you can draw some monsters and some characters for us, and so that's how he got that job. And so it's cool to think about it, you got guys like Stan Lee and to the video game world, and he's still with us, thank God. But Shigeru Miyamoto, these guys might not be the most relevant names right now in the industry, in any of these industries, but when they pass, nobody can deny. Like for instance, the word Nintendo is synonymous with video games, even though they've been around since the 1800s, long before video games existed. And when somebody thinks anime and manga, they think Dragon Ball. They might, they might think of Pokemon. They might think of Yu-Gi-Oh. They might think of Sailor Moon. They might, there's a whole list of them. But there is no there is the popularity that manga and anime both hold today. They owe everything to Akira Toriyama.
And that they do, and it's so wild. Like he started in 1977, 40 plus years, and and oh yeah, and Dragon Ball will remain, because I have season one right here. I thought it'd be appropriate. Give me a moment. I'll be right back.
Well, while he's doing that, he had asked the question about Chrono Trigger earlier. I too got my official start on Chrono Trigger playing the DS port. There were a few minor changes. I now currently have the original game in Japanese that I play with an English translation patch on the Retron 5, but that's a whole nother thing. Anyway, as far as Dragon Ball goes, I know a lot of people love to bash Toonami, but without Toonami and Cartoon Network, most of us would never have gotten the love we have for Dragon Ball and Dragon Ball Z. So it's worth mentioning that, sorry, we got some background noise here, but
No, you're good.
it's worth, yeah, but it's worth or it's worth mentioning that it's kind of like all the people my age, all the guys my age that got into Godzilla because of the 1998 Matthew Broderick Godzilla. It might not have been a good representation of Godzilla, but it was but it got us interested. The name alone got us through the door, and and so yeah, people bash 4Kids, they bash Toonami because of some questionable decisions that were made, on their part. But we still have to give them credit where credit's due. They got us through the door. So there's that.
Yeah, and that's true because remember in in the late '90s we had hey Iron Inquisitor, welcome to this tribute. This is more of a tribute stream. This is a tribute stream because we're showing our appreciation to a respected legend. And I say he's up there with Stan Lee and a few other prominent people. I say, and rightfully so, with high respect. And you're right though, Bubba. Without Tsunami, we wouldn't have our foot in the door on anime. We wouldn't have gotten our start as on our journey to being anime fans without Tsunami. Yeah, we rag on it and everything, and yeah, we poke fun at 4Kids and everything. But without those two companies, more of Toonami basically, we would not have that line of communication. We probably wouldn't discover this shit until I want to say mid 2000s, like somewhere in that ballpark.
I feel like the money wouldn't have been there, the popularity wouldn't have been there. We might never have gotten it over here like like it did. I feel like they were the stepping stones, the building blocks that generated enough interest to get us what we eventually, what the anime and manga industry has become over here.
Yeah, so yeah, people did bash Toonami. Like it was right up until September 2008 when we got the god awful Thomas the Tank Engine ripoff of Tom. That was his final one. Everybody, myself included.
Well, again, they made some very questionable decisions, both with censorship and the stuff they did outside of the shows. We can't pretend that they did everything right or that they did it perfect, but and that's the thing. Like bringing up another old ghost, like take G4 TV and Tech TV before that. The thing is that what they became now, well, yeah, it might suck. Yeah, all that recent travesty and everything might suck, but let's not forget again. Well, in hell, G4 had had their anime block, hour two, and the thing is that we can't forget where we came from. We can't forget that even though we might not have come in with the greatest of representations for our for this media that we love, they did get us through the door. They did bring us to the party, and so we still have to take our hat off, and pay the piper every once in a while.
Yep. Speaking of which, I do have season one. Oh, shit. Season one and season two of Dragon Ball Z, as well as season 3 and season 4 of Dragon Ball Z as well. This right here is the pinnacle of starting out in Dragon Ball Z. This is the pinnacle right here. There we go. Jesus. I can't help today, Bubba. I can't help today. Anyway.
Hey, man. Everybody's a little out of sorts, and now we just found out why.
Yep. But for people who are wondering where to start, I would start with Dragon Ball first, and then work your way to here. And then after the Frieza saga and it would get into the Android saga, then the Cell saga, and then the Boo saga.
And if you're a big comic book geek and you're looking for something to read, it might be easier for you to get the manga than it is the anime right now. Go check it out. Yeah, they make for an awesome story. I'll tell you, I remember I had seen every season of Dragon Ball up to a point, or I had seen seasons 1 through 3 of Dragon Ball. There's 4 total, and I remember going to the library as a teenager and reading the rest of it. Because they weren't showing it on TV anymore, and I wanted to see the rest of the story, so I started reading the manga, and I got freaking hooked. Even the stuff I had already seen on TV, rereading it in manga form, and then when I finally get to the Battle of King Piccolo and everything else, and the finale with Junior when they fight at the tournament, it's just that there is so much heat, and it's so heavy, and it's so action packed, like and everything just pops. There's there's not a whole lot. I'll tell you, you can always tell when Akira Toriyama, like when he came back for Dragon Ball Super and was working with the story again, and when they were using him as a consultant on the filler episodes for the TV show and stuff. There's there's a lot that hell even back during Dragon Ball GT. And both GT and Super have made some missteps. I'm not going to pretend they haven't. What GT did to Krillin is just as unforgivable as what Super did to Yamcha, in my opinion. But the fact of the matter remains that these shows are forever with us. The moment he introduced a multiverse, things got now everything's canon. But anyway, the point is that when when you see the different things that he had a hand in writing, like for instance, I love in Dragon Ball Super where Master Roshi tells him in one breath, he's like, well, Goku, you've mastered divine power. I'm not really sure that there's much I can teach you now. But then proceeds to send Goku and Krillin to the one place on Earth that Goku's power, no matter how powerful he is actually more of a hindrance than it is a help. And I love I love Master Roshi in the Tournament of Power and everything. When he says those when he resays his mantra from from Dragon Ball when Goku and Krillin first started training with him, there was just there was just so much there. You can tell when Akira Toriyama stepped back in the creator booth, the roots were there again. You could feel his power there again, and it translated. All the English translation in the world, all of the nothing could hide that Akira Toriyama was sitting in the driver's seat again, and it made things better. You just felt that rage, that rush, that righteous fury build up, because that's how he inspires us. That's how he's always inspired us. Made us feel like we could do anything. Made us feel like no matter what kind of arena we were in, that our limits were always meant to be broken. And that for that we'll never be able to repay him. But man, I'm so glad that I discovered Akira Toriyama's work when I was a kid.
Mm-hmm. Let's see. Bacon asked, how much would it piss you guys off if I mentioned watching the Team 4 Star version of DBZ? Speaking of, I know they're gonna have something to say about this, and they will. It's inevitable right now. They're gonna do something. They'll probably, knowing them, they're probably gonna stop with the abridged series, because if that's what they're going to be doing. But the
I was going to say,
abridged,
nothing pisses me off about it. It's it's
no, it's
funny.
hilarious.
Yeah.
It's hilarious. I actually enjoy it. I wouldn't be upset. I get that the diehard DBZ um apologists would be pissed off, but that's not our forte. No, if it's parody and it's done really good and humorous, we like it. It's humorous, so I give Team 4 Star credit. It made me laugh. They did wonderful with the Halsey one too. Um, but it just is so. Just hearing the news, I'm just like, please don't be real. I I literally, if I did not do a live stream, I would be fucking screaming and probably head bash my head into a wall right now. This is why I'm doing this too.
Well, I
And
mean, the thing is that he did have underlying medical issues, and his death does hurt us a lot. My heart goes out to his family and his personal friends. They're the ones hurting the most right now. But every one of us that were his fans, we do what we do feel this. This is a big deal. But the thing is that I don't think he has many regrets. I think that man lived and did more in his life than most people can even imagine. And anybody that makes works, at not just one property. He worked on Dragon Quest. He worked on Chrono Trigger. He has several animes of his own and mangas of his own. The man did. I mean, he left his mark on this. I saw it mentioned in the comments that every millennial knows Dragon Ball Z. I would go as far as to say most Gen X knows Dragon Ball Z. Most, every millennial and most, Generation Y, Generation Z. Most of them know Dragon Ball through Dragon Ball Super, and you don't have to be the biggest a fan in the world for it to have left its mark on you at some point in time. That pop culture is filled with what this man has done, and so no, he's 68 is too young, especially for an Asian. I'm going to go ahead and say it, but the fact of the matter is that he did live he lived a good life. He lived a decent length of life. It might not have been the longest life, but as much as we mourn his passing, we also need to celebrate how he lived because he gave us so much.
yeah, my and it's and yeah, 68 is too young. Um, well, and let's see, DB. I don't like Team Store, but I'm not gonna put. I did laugh at a few stuff. He did live his life. And the photo behind us is proof of that. He enjoys. You can't tell me the man does not enjoy doing what he loves doing. You cannot sit there and tell us that. And I do agree. There's only a few people in the chat that's never seen Dragon Ball, in which I do not blame them. It's a very complex anime to get into. There's a lot of fighting and everything, but it's a lot of fun, and the characters are so cool. From Mercenary Tao to Korin to Android 18 to all the beloved characters, including Beerus, I think that's his name, and just so many wow characters from the mind of this man. This man behind us created some of the best characters we have ever seen in our
Well, and
lifetime.
even the ones that his proteges created, like I said, there are plenty of them that people that have worked with him, worked for him for years that they created. When he stepped back into it, he was able to use their characters just like any great creator. They put these toys together in his world, and he was able to use them to tell great stories. The Dragon Ball Super Broly is a key. That he didn't create Broly, but he was able to make Broly canon in a way that made sense in his world. And I mean, he was just amazing. That's what a master does.
Yeah, and it's so wild because he also did a lot more with I had it up for a moment. Uh he all his other works and everything that I showed, um he really put the benchmark. He created Dr. Slump. uh he was a character designer for both Chrono, Dragon Quest, and Blue Dragon. So, and some of the characters on there are gorgeous. I would not mind seeing them in an anime, though. I would, with that design and everything. I guarantee it would be up there. Uh, High Alpha Dog. My absolute favorite piece of fiction in this world is in this world. Nothing did it like Dragon Ball for me. Thank you for making my childhood. Rest in peace, Toriyama. Enjoy your time in the other world. Oh, I agree. I agree right there. That statement right there and many others. It just shows like the power of this. And this is why anime fans all come together and everything. This is why we love stuff like this. Why we love Dragon Ball Z, why we love all the other prominent animes. You can argue as much as you want about Yu-Gi-Oh, but you can't deny its cultural impact as well. Same with Pokemon, same with Berserk. Every anime, every form of it made an impact on our childhood one way or another, and we are forever grateful for it being existed into this world. And to see all the wonders of everything. Heck, they Akira and Oda made that One Piece film together. I believe it was trying to find it. It was called One Piece Film Z. It's a 2012 uh film actually. And who'd have thunk it though, Bubba? Imagine all those years ago when it was Bleach, One Piece, and Naruto, and also Dragon Ball Z had their moments too. Imagine the creator of Dragon Ball Z and the creator of One Piece coming together and creating that good of a movie. If you told people that back in the
Yeah.
day, they would look at you like you were crazy. But that's
There
the
are a lot of
beauty
things.
of it.
There are a lot of things that if I went back in time right now, and I told myself from back then, it like just listed out like if I could pick five things to tell myself that I considered the most important things in entertainment or even just the world stage. It doesn't matter. If I could pick five different topics and I could say one thing about each topic to myself, my past self would look at my current self and say, "What have you been smoking?" So I mean, yeah, no, you're absolutely right.
Let's see. Akira Toriyama was the best to do it. You damn right. um, Dragon Ball was an epic show, was an epic blend of fantasy, adventure, drama, and sci-fi. You were correct because remember they had those capsules from Capsule Corp. All the crazy stuff. We look at it like it's science fiction, and it is because it's so wild what you could put in there, and it's like that tiny thing holds a house and a time machine and battle armor. That's
Well, but see, that was
insane.
the best part because he was able to explain it in such a way that we were able to suspend our disbelief. We were able to believe that in the parameters of his world that was possible. There were things that if they were to say, we would think, no, no, that's just fan fiction. But the world he set up, he was able to expand what we know in real life as physics. He was able to make his fiction around an expanded version of physics that made us think, yeah, yeah, that's possible in that world, obviously. So I mean, and it was just seeing dinosaurs, living alongside, flying cars was freaking amazing. Like, seeing random wolf and bear people was hilarious. Having the little goat dairy farmer that that Master Roshi got the milk from, so he could make so he could make Krillin and Goku deliver milk as part of their training. Like it was just stuff like that. and let's not forget, like the Dr. Slump stuff was just absolutely off the wall. But hell, they even did an episode of that. It was a filler episode, but they even did an episode of that in Dragon Ball Super. That was one heck of a crossover.
Exactly. Plus, Goku flying on the Nimbus on a cloud of all things.
Well, he got that from he got that from the Monkey King stories, from the
But
mythology there.
also
But still,
it still adds to our disbelief, though. It's like, I
yeah.
beg your pardon. Yeah, I beg your pardon. What is he riding on? Is that is like, to anybody else outside who's never seen Dragon Ball? They see that, it's like, huh? Is
Well,
that
and the
my
cloud,
kid?
the Nimbus was actually a really good gauge for many reasons, because we noticed well into adulthood, even Chi Chi could still ride it. So just because Chi Chi tended to be a little grumpier did not mean she was not pure of heart. And just because someone wasn't pure of heart, I mean, I'm not gonna lie, I was still surprised that Krillin could ride on it. But like, we remember how he was as a kid. But no, it's just like Bulma couldn't ride on it. Master Roshi couldn't ride on it anymore. I mean, and it was a good gauge, because just because you couldn't ride the Nimbus didn't make you evil, and just because you didn't seem pure of heart didn't mean that the Nimbus didn't deem you as such. So it was, well, like I said, I really like the Nimbus as a literary device on top of everything else.
Also, and it's just so wild, like the world around it and everything, and the fact that this came from Akira's mind really shows, like, the creative geniuses of like the imagination. And I get his feelings towards Vegeta. I get his feelings. And you can argue, I'm pretty sure every other artist out there has a character that they kind of are like, why did I make this character?
Not why did I make this character, but why did I allow this character to become so prominent? But the thing is that without
Right.
Vegeta, Bakugo wouldn't exist. Without Vegeta, there are so many characters that we have grown to love, because they're angry, they're more aggressive. They used to be bad guys, or even if they didn't used to be bad guys, they were borderline. That they represented a darker heroism that ultimately does the right thing, but does not always have the best methods to do it. And and that's the thing. It took, in both GT and Super, it took Vegeta a very long time to get over himself, to get past everything. But there was some at the end of Dragon Ball Z. It was not until because that's the thing. Somebody brought this up the other day. Vegeta has never actually lost a fight to Goku, but after they fight, each time Goku has shown that he's more powerful overall, or he attains a new goal and becomes more powerful. And in when Vegeta finally admits there's something about Goku that's different, something that he doesn't have. Not only in both versions, not only did it mean that that he was able to move past his own limits, but it gave him something new to drive for. It gave him something, I mean, he didn't, suddenly being the most powerful was not his only goal. That, he gained a healthy sense of rivalry, rather than, what, the grudge he was holding before. And so, I mean, the relationship between Goku and Vegeta was very important for the overall Dragon Ball Z story, and the stories that have come after, whichever canon you choose to follow. And so it's, and like I said, without that character, there are so many characters we all know and love now that would not have the, they wouldn't have the places in our heart that they do now. So yeah, Akira Toriyama, he might not be his favorite, Vegeta might not be his favorite character, But Toriyama knew that Vegeta was necessary and knew that he was one of the best literary devices he could use to make the story better.
Exactly. Plus, look at the cultural impact that he's left behind, because we saw the references in other shows. I know how everybody feels about the amazing world of Gumball and everything. I know how people feel about that, but you can't deny it's there. Like it's right
Yeah.
there, and also with Billy and Mandy at the time, and the
Well,
Fairly Odd
even
Parents.
Codename Kids Next Door. Codename Kids Next Door did an anthology episode where the delightful children from down the lane were, tangle. All five of the kids tangle with them, and number four's segment of the episode was literally a parody of a Goku Frieza fight.
that actually made me laugh. I was enjoying
And then when
that.
he powers up and it's just his hair getting taller, that cracked me up, man.
Oh man, but you see, that's the power of popular animes out there, that you could see them in like they're being referenced by the animators of those shows. And Akira, the inspiration is there. That's the purest form of inspiration, because they're
Well,
showing their love for they're showing their homage to Akira, though.
well, it bears mentioning because a lot of people that they wonder, how Akira Toriyama, because he talks about some of the inspiration he got from real life. The Saiyans were. Let's go back. Well, first off, Akira Toriyama was old enough that his parents were in Japan when Hiroshima and Nagasaki when the bombs went off. You know, he comes from a generation that grew up, in post World War II. He's old. He was old enough to have seen several cultural shifts between the East and the West. And the thing is, and help, like he's part of those cultural shifts because of Dragon Ball. But the thing is that if you think about it, because he talked about how after World War II, a lot of uh, hoodlums, if you will, that they would go through and they would claim territories and kind of set up in them, and that the Saiyans kind of represented that. And then the banks would come through just like they did here in the United States. I'm from Oklahoma, and you ask most Okies about the Dust Bowl and the Great Depression and what the federal government and the banks did to us back in the day. Declaring eminent domain if we wouldn't sell and that kind of thing. I had family that were firsthand old enough to have been affected by that. And the thing is that Frieza and his guys represent these crooked, shifty bankers and corporations that wanted that land for their own means, and so they did whatever. That they went in and stole it from the people that stole it to begin with, and so there's and I mean there's a little bit of inspiration. It wasn't like it was perfect, for it. But the thing is that he took things from real life, that he, things that made him feel a certain way, and he was able to create something with it. And though it's not a one for one allegory, there is not a single one of us that haven't been through something hard that can't use his work, especially Dragon Ball Z, but there's not a single one of us that can't, that don't see our victories as a type of powering up, as a new transformation, if you will. Days that we don't feel as powerful as we were before, that days that we've achieved something that we never thought possible. And that's what any good, that's what any good work of fiction can do for you. It can inspire you, and it's talking about the cultural shifts. There's, I mean, let's not forget the biggest inspiration for Goku was Superman. Without Superman, Goku wouldn't have the same storyline at all. He might have existed, but he wouldn't have been the same character that we knew. Crash landed from a doomed planet, raised by a good kindly old man from the country, just like Superman. And so it is. You got to think Superman inspired that, and then Goku has turned around and inspired so much more. Both of those characters are iconic, and and I like to bring that up when people talk about, well, everybody's just copying off of each other. They're, King Solomon from the Bible said, there's nothing new under the sun. It's not about being original. It's not always about being original. It's about it's about using inspiration and putting it together in a way that makes people want to see it. And Akira Toriyama took that concept and gave us one of the most culturally iconic intellectual properties that the world has ever known. And and for that, we'll always be grateful.
Yeah, Fish Chozo. Can you
So,
elaborate on
okay,
that?
yes, Sun Wukong is the Monkey King, the Chinese Monkey King. Yes, he took a lot of Goku's aesthetic, the cloud, the power pole, all of that. Yes, Sun Wukong was a major influence. But Superman was also a major influence. In fact, one could argue that Goku is a fusion of Sun Wukong and Superman.
Hmm. Also, there's actually a lot more that he worked in. Give me a moment. Here we are. Apparently, he also worked on Tall Ball number 1 and 2. I remember those ones. I
Oh, and in the comments, real quick.
Oh, what's up?
Yes. Right before that, yeah, Terminator and Terminator with Trunks. There was a cross between the Terminator, and he has mentioned in the past the his he got some inspiration from Marvel's Days of Future Past for the Future Trunks storyline.
Yeah, there is similarities here and there, but it's really well done. And you can argue that Terminator is also another cultural impact because both of them did exist within the same time period. Let me go back. Oh, damn it, there it is. Okay, 1984. So, um, Terminator. Let's see. Roughly the same year. Within that same year. So that's pretty wild. We had Dragon Ball come out on the other side of the world, and then we had the Terminator here, and I believe Superman as well. I'm trying to remember if there was a Superman movie that was released in the 80s. Um, but it's amazing how in 1984 things really took off in the entertainment industry. I mean, really took off, like from music, everything. Because remember, if you recall in my if you recall in my history of anime video that I did a while back, I mentioned the one of the stuff I was reading. There was an anime boom in the 80s, and this proves it right here. This proves it because this took place in the 80s. So from 81, from 80 it was Doctor Slump, and then we had all the way to Dragon Ball, and then Lady Red, The Elder, Akira Toriyama's Manga Theater Volume 2, right up until Karamaru and the Perfect Day. It was a one shot. It was a one shot in Weekly Shonen Jump, and then we had Rocky. So from that time period, Akira had literally the best time. He had the best timing ever because of the anime boom of the 80s, and up into the 90s too, and 2000s. He was at the right place at the right time, and he's one of the. If you look up the definition ahead of the curve, you would see Akira Toriyama's name there. You would see it there. It would be on there. Um, but it's so crazy. Uh, all his wonderful works and everything. And in the gaming section, it's even more wild because there was Blue Dragon Plus, Blue Dragon Awakened Shadow, uh, Chosuko, Chosuko, Henki, Gyro Zetter. I mean, Jesus Christ. I'm amazed I even got through that. Dragon Ball Fighter Z. Uh, Basically, I believe that is supposed to be right before he designed the character Android 21 and designed the characters Shallot and Legends. Jump Force, that one was pretty wild. Playing that game, seeing all the characters, and then Fantasian. I believe that was one of his one. It was right up to there, and then he's doing Dragon Ball Daima. So yep, it's right there. So he was working on that.
Sandlands, Sandland is going. Yeah, Sandlands is going to be great. I can already tell.
Um, yeah, Sandland. That one's gonna explode. I know that one's gonna go right off the chain, right off the rails. But Bubba, what was your first introduction to Dragon Ball? I would love to hear this. Anybody in the chat? What what are your other stories there, chat? Fizz, DBZ, anybody that's watching, um, post your memories, because and it will be showcased here, because how did also to any artists in the chat, how did Akira inspire you basically? I would love to hear this perspective, because it's Omega, my good friend, great to see you. um I appreciate you stopping by to say hi on this tribute to Akira uh Toriyama tribute stream. Let's see. Akira Toriyama was influential in taste of anime for the longest time. You are correct. Mammoth, I grew up watching episodes of Dragon Ball Z on Cartoon Network. Akira's philosophy inspired me to create Igor. Ooh, nice. Believe me, we all have trouble typing sometimes. Omega, this news hit us all real hard. And uh Yeah, I too found out about it through Hypnotic's channel. I was watching his stream, and that's when the news hit and everything. Let's see, the spiky hair, the muscles, the machines, the power. Yeah, those were pretty awesome at the time. Like the wild hairstyles, going Super Saiyan, firing the 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 Kai Blast, the key. I think it's Kai Blast, or I don't know. Oh yeah, the first introduction to Trunks. Yep, I do remember that. It's so crazy. Um, I this news is gonna hit for a while. Everybody's already coming out with their tributes and everything, and we're here. Um, we're, like a nice moment of reflections on the guy who brought all our childhoods all over the world, or the first theme of the Dragon Ball series done in English. My first anything that I was exposed to. I do remember those, and it's so crazy watching. I'm repeating myself, but hearing the intro theme and end theme to Dragon Ball, that was a surprise. Because I do remember it happening on Tsunami. They did do the end credits at the end of one of the episodes, and you literally had Gohan. You had Gohan running on the back of Shenron, and then he jumps up in the air, and he gets like passed by Krillin, by Yamcha, and oh damn it, help me out here. What's the cat's name? What is the cat name that follows Yamcha? I'm drawing a blank here.
Poor,
Thank you.
poor.
Poor, and then he falls down, but Goku comes in on the Nimbus and he catches him, and that's the last image you see is both their faces. That is my favorite ending right there. That's my favorite one out of that whole series. Let's see. Uh, DBZ and GT for Life says one of the things I can remember about Dragon Ball Z is like back in 2002, 2003, my mom gave me and my brother little notebooks with Dragon Ball Z cover on it and played with the toys. That is awesome. I do remember the toys as well. I had the Trunks one. I had the Trunks where he had it was Super Saiyan, and in the armor after the hyperbolic time chamber, and he had the little blast thing attached to his hand. I do remember that you push the back and it creates the Super Saiyan sound and the ball lights up. I do
Yeah,
remember that
does
one.
do y'all remember those toys that there was they were 3.75 inch scale, the
Legends.
like the smaller. Yeah, but they were like 3.75 inch scale, and they would fit.
Epic.
It was Goku and Frieza, and they would fit inside of these rubber. Um, that they were like it was like a rubber Super Saiyan, and a rubber Majin Buu, a rubber Frieza, which was them all powered up, and like the rubber Goku was a Super Saiyan, and you just kind of fit it in like a skin suit, and the rubber like would I remember getting one of my friends that he was huge into Dragon Ball Z. This was before I got into it. I was like 9, and I remember getting him that for his birthday, and he even he told me yeah, about a year later, he's like the rubber, like the Super Saiyan Goku, like just like ripped, and I'm like, dang, man. And it just but it was just funny because that was their way of like making power ups. Except for the Majin Buu one didn't really make sense because he was like Kid Buu, inside of which I guess it does kind of make sense because because Kid Buu did like sprout from Majin Buu, like when he came back. So I don't know. It was just really funny because I don't think whoever did quality control thought that through too well with the like placing the toys inside of a rubber like skin suit.
I agree. That one was a little odd for the time, but it's hilarious when you look back on it. Let's see. Dragon Ball Z was so impacting America's shores that he had a New York City float and recently collabed with Reese's Puffs. I do remember that collaboration, and I do remember seeing it on the Macy's Day Parade. If I were Toriyama and I saw all that, I would be damn proud of that. Just to see the love and everything. Uh, without Dragon Ball, I wouldn't be an anime fan along with Gundam Wing and Tsunami. You are correct in that matter, Omega. Me and Bubba were just talking about that it's because without Akira, I don't think we would be. I don't think anime would be as highly successful. I mean, it would still be there, but not on the grand level to where we have like shirts, figures, Comic Cons, all that fun stuff. It wouldn't be at that level without Akira and many others. Um, I remember when my dad bought me Dragon Ball games and bought me a Dragon Ball newbie a newbie control. I never. Well, color me shocked. I never heard of that before. Honestly, I never heard of a newbie controller before. That's new to me. Um, it was so cool. I'm glad my friend introduced me to Dragon Ball back in 2021. Hey, there you go. Also, I've been trying to collect more Dragon Ball stuff again for years, but life got in the way. I feel like it's too late now. It's never too late. If you're that passionate and you want to collect Dragon Ball figures,
And they're
now the
still going to be making the stuff. Like, they're not going to stop making new Dragon Ball stuff. And if you're trying to collect old stuff, there's plenty of it out there. I mean, it might go up in price now, but there is plenty of it still out there.
I agree. And it's never too late. Look, I just completed my Sailor Moon collection that I never thought I would have at this stage in my life. And I've been a fan since June the 1st, 1998. It's taken me that long. Nor meet the
June 1st is my
VAs.
birthday.
um, let's see. Despite growing out of Dragon Ball, but it was classic. I love playing the Dragon Ball Z games on PS2. Budokai was pretty awesome. Budokai, I
Yeah, the
can.
Tenkaichi games, like the Tenkaichi games, were always my favorite. Though the split screen and everything, like I think that is the peak golden pinnacle. And if Sparking Zero does not have couch co-op split screen multiplayer, I'm out. I'm not even gonna give it a shot. But I'll
Agreed.
tell you, if you like one thing that I really do like though is if I had a buddy back then that never he didn't have cable, and even if he did have cable, his mom would not have let him watch Dragon Ball Z anyway, and he was able to get the stories. Or because he played Legacy of Goku 1 and 2, he got that. One of his cousins had got it for him for his birthday, for his Game Boy Advance, and then and then he ended up trading with somebody else and getting a copy of Boost Fury. And the thing is that now he didn't know the Dragon Ball story, but it kind of, it tells you what you need to know at the beginning of Legacy of Goku. That, basically tells you, that little intro tells you about Goku's life up to that point. And so he played through and beat all three of those games. And even when like we were talking about Dragon Ball Z, a lot of us watching the show on Toonami and everything, he was able to keep up with us because those games gave you enough information to know what was going on. And so it was, and I still love the commercials for Boost Fury back in the day. That was hilarious.
Yeah, that was good. But the Game Boy games, I feel like those were peak. Those were peak Dragon Ball games. The card one, to be fair here, I get what they were trying to do, but man, the execution of that was so bad. I have played it. I tried to like it because it was Dragon Ball Z, but
Hold up. Anime night. Into the comments. Second from the last.
what? Which one?
Just saying. No, third from the last. Okay, yeah. Okay. Yeah, third from last. Okay, dude. I was born in 91 and he was born in 92. Don't even. We ain't that much older than you. Stop that, man. Give me older anime fans my left nut. Like, come on now. Damn, man. Damn.
Why you gotta do us like that? Nah, we're joking, TBC. We're joking, man. We love you.
Yeah, man. I just saw that. I had to give you a hard time, man. And to point earlier that Fitzchozo brought up, I acknowledge that the alien stuff didn't come until Dragon Ball Z. Like, I know that. I realize that his first inspiration was definitely Sun Wukong. I will, and I have no problem admitting that. But let's face it, even in the original Superman story, he wasn't even able to fly until like the seventh or eighth issue. So I mean, stories evolve, and yes, he might have got his initial inspiration from Sun Wukong. He definitely evolved into a more Superman-esque character.
Agreed. Let's see. We got Born in '97. Um, Dragon Ball helped me get into anime along with Toonami and the Fatal Fury OVA from the '90s. Fatal Fury. What is? That sounds so familiar. This is gonna drive me nuts later. I'll look at it later, but Fatal Fury I have heard of though. Let's see. Love Dragon Ball trading cards from the 2000s. I still have some Z and GT ones from 2008, and y'all got me by almost a decade. See, this is what I'm talking about. This is the cultural impact of Dragon Ball and anime and everything. This is what we're talking about here. We would not have these discussions if it weren't for that man in the background and everybody else that came before us. And to all 7 people who are watching and everybody else that was watching earlier, y'all are legends in this one. And I appreciate everybody coming out here tonight, and despite the sad news, but it's really wonderful to see all the anime fans come together on this night to celebrate the man, the myth, the legend, Akira Toriyama. Um, it's amazing what one man can do, because this is a man who I'm amazed by his work ethic. His work ethic amazed me. Like, he got so much out within that time period.
And you'll have to forgive me. You'll have to forgive me for this, for what I'm about to say. But we all know why they had to make his funeral a closed affair. Because if they allowed all those fans into the church and the cemetery all at the same time, there would be over 9,000.
Okay, we could let that we'll let that one slide because that was actually pretty good. But you are correct though, because I get why they did the private funeral service, all that, and why they don't want the gifts or anything or flowers. That is understandable and everything. And believe me, not and you're right about the fans. It would be a madhouse over there. Too soon. Okay. Uh T-Rex Den, hi, welcome to the tribute stream. I love Dragon Ball. It helped me a lot. I draw every character back then in high school and even improve. Now I'm on art class architecture. Thanks, sir. That is awesome. That is so awesome, T-Rex. The influence of this man. Well, yes, that is true, and and it's just amazing because Akira is going to be missed. I do wonder how they're going to go about this now, because with the new Dragon one coming out, and then and then the new Dragon Ball one coming soon. I have a I have a feeling that those are his last works right there, of the two that we know of. Who knows what else he was working on at that during before this happened, because man just loves to work and everything, and he he is greatly missed, and and it's also eerie how soon this is, because not long ago the creator Yu-Gi-Oh passed, and then the Berserker author passed. Not even within a year of each other. But I really, really hope whoever
It
takes
kind
over.
of makes me want to to join a volunteer force to protect Oda at all costs. If that man dies before One Piece is finished, I'm rioting.
I will be right there with you on that one. Um, I do wonder though
I
if
feel like Bane. Finish your manga first, then you have my permission to die. Yeah, just saying, just saying.
yeah, but I do wonder though if Akira, like I wonder if he has like a will or something written for the people are that helped him out with Dragon Ball and everything. I wonder who is going to take over now, because he won't have this he won't have the influence or the input anymore, because without him
It'll
I
be the same team that's been working on Dragon Ball Super, I'd imagine. Like these guys have been doing this for a while. They know what to do. They know what's expected, and they've kept his work. They've kept his work alive. Well enough. I think they got this. I got faith in them. And if they mess up, we'll be the first ones to yell at them for it. So there we are.
it, exactly. He Fish Chozo Warner says, fortunately, One Piece is almost over.
I
Um,
know that, man.
yeah, and DBC and GT for Life says, with Death Battle out and Akira Toriyama gone, dude, nerd culture might to take a hit. This is way too eerie and just makes you feel like some outside force is responsible. Well, not necessarily. I wouldn't.
I'm
I don't
saving
know.
my conspiracy theories. I'm saving my conspiracy theories that I am already forming. But like for instance, the creator of SpongeBob wanted to end SpongeBob, so he ends up dead under under suspicious circumstances right before Paramount almost lost the rights to make new SpongeBob stuff. Suddenly he just dies right before they're about to lose those rights, and now SpongeBob is everywhere. And so I don't think anything like that is going on. I will say this though, even though I don't think an outside force is responsible for the death of Akira Toriyama, I do know, and there are no ifs, ands, or buts about it, the soulless corporations in control of that property are about to push it into overdrive. Be expecting in these next few months, especially this whole year, that we will remember this year. Our kids and grandkids will remember this year as the year that Dragon Ball showed up on every freaking shelf. Things that like we're talking about, the reprints of the Dr. Slump manga, in English are going to start popping up out of everywhere. You mark my words, there will be, they are going to re-release old video games, on the digital markets and stuff. They maybe even physically. It is going to be ridiculous with how much they are about to capitalize on this man's death. And I don't think they caused it, but I definitely think they are about to capitalize on it like crazy. There will be like every gas station, every hell, I wouldn't be surprised if they brought back Dragon Ball Evolution, to some BFE podunk movie theater just to see if they could get people to pay to go see that monstrosity again.
Yeah. Eh, but for now, we'll save all the conspiracy stuff for another time, because right now, and Bubba is right.
Yeah, like I said, I'm not talking conspiracy. I'm just talking about how much they're about to capitalize on his death. They're about to make some
Yeah,
money.
yeah, and I agree, DBC. I agree. Um, it's it's just so sad when it it's just so sad when someone's like almost done with their work and everything, like they're almost done, because we all wanted to see like the finale of SpongeBob, like the grand finale of Yu-Gi-Oh and everything. And I hope to God we see a grand finale with Oda still here with us, because for Christ's sake, we need that done. Uh oh, don't get me started on that film. Don't get me started on that.
Okay, but to
But
be
the good,
fair, if
but
that
the
was
good,
it, like again, that was a very poor representation of Dragon Ball. But say they had changed all those characters' names. Say it was just a knockoff movie. They called them, Dragon Spheres or something like that, and it was just a shameless ripoff. We would all be laughing at that movie instead of hating it. So let's not blame the movie itself. Let's blame the idiots that were in control of that movie that screwed it up so bad.
exactly. And even Akira, uh, sorry, there we go. It's good to know that even Akira Toriyama hated it. It's good to know, because I bet you he was fuming in the chair. Like I bet you he was fuming. Like, who gave permission? Um, uh, it's inevitable, DBZ. It's inevitable that that's going to happen. It really is, because, well, we'll dive into that another time when some time has passed, and then we'll throw our predictions and everything like that once we're in a more stable of mind to do so. Uh, I don't hate Dragon Ball, but I don't need to see it. I don't see as faithful to Dragon Ball Z. You are correct. It was not faithful. It was
That is
just
exactly how I see it. like I said, that would have been like a long episode of some kind of Power Ranger meets Dragon Ball knockoff if they would have just changed at the last minute. If they had just changed the names of all the characters and changed changed the names of the Dragon Balls themselves, they could have gotten away with so much. That would have been one of those. That would have been one of those background movies that people would have been like, "Yeah, this is a knockoff of Dragon Ball," and but we wouldn't have hated it. We would have just been like, "Huh, that's that silly ass Dragon Ball knockoff," and and then it would have been that. Like we would all to this day, we would still be laughing about that corny little movie instead of loathing the ground that like loathing the day it was ever made and then released.
Precisely that. I feel like we should just look at it. We should just laugh at it for its pathetic attempt and everything. But I am.
Although tell me it wouldn't be a great double feature. The Bob Hoskins, John Leguizamo Mario, and Dragon Ball Evolution. And if we really want to go back, we can throw the Aragon movie and the Avatar: The Last Airbender M. Night Shyamalan in there. Like, just get a whole marathon going. Put the Elektra movie, the 2002 Hulk. Like, we could go down, man. Just an ass-tastic movie marathon. Make people's eyes bleed. Like, that would be horrible.
We would have aneurysms by the end of that. At the end of that watch party, we would have aneurysms by the end of that one, and we would be in the hospital. I like the way you think. Hey, Silent. Oh, damn it. Hey, Silent Joker. Welcome to the tribute stream. Glad you could make it.
Good night, Fitzchozo.
CR Fish Chozo. Keep stay up to date with the channel and everything. We're going to be talking more about this on the Knights of the Anime Table this Sunday. This will be another discussion with people who haven't heard or who haven't had a chance to speak their mind. Basically, this is like for everybody to come on and just chill and talk, reminisce and everything. Yo, I like 2003 Hulk. What the fuck, man?
It wasn't a bad movie, but let's face it, the Hulk is not supposed to get bigger. He's supposed to get stronger, but he's not supposed, there was just so much weirdness going on in that movie, and then the plot kind of got lost. Like, it was not a bad movie, but it was not a good Hulk movie. We can say that. Just like the Mario movie. Like, that was not a bad movie. It was a fun, silly, campy action movie. It just wasn't a good Mario movie, and so I still own a copy of it. I still fucking love that movie. I would watch it back to back with, in fact, after we finished, we went to go see the newer Mario movie last year. We went and saw it in theaters, and then I had to go straight to work after that, but kind of as a cool down, when I got home, I popped that sucker in there and I watched it. Bob Hoskins and John Leguizamo. It wasn't a bad movie. Wasn't a good Mario movie, but it wasn't a bad movie.
Precisely that. It was not that bad. Hi, Ace. Rest in peace to the GOAT, Akira Toriyama. Prayers for his family. Yes, all our love, all our prayers, all the Dragon Balls go to the family. You are not wrong there, DBZ. You are not wrong. Elektra could have been better. A lot better, actually. But let's just be grateful we even got an Elektra movie while we still had the chance to. I came back and the first thing he was
Oh, no, let me tell you, Bacon, man. What we were going to do is, what we were talking about, putting together an ass-tastic, in this regard, a movie marathon. Think about it. The 1994 Bob Hoskins Mario Brothers movie. You got you got Dragon Ball Evolution, Aragon, the M. Night Shyamalan Last Airbender movie, Elektra, 2003 Hulk, Like you just go down the line. 2008 Jonah Hex. Now I'm just adding movies to it. But yeah, man, it's an ass-tastic movie. Yeah, movie marathon, and he's here Anime Night says we'd all be going through aneurysms by the end of it. But I don't know. I don't know. I think that we would have so much fun laughing and cutting up that it would just breeze by. It'd just be a nice day of time wasting.
Yeah, let's see. 2008 Hulk was awesome. Also, the 2008 Hulk was also huge, just not as big. You can make that argument.
Fantastic Assathon. Yeah. That sounds like a porn marathon.
Oh my god.
Oh man, we could get so many perverts up in there. Like so many perverts would be coming in there. They would be so mad. Like holy shit, they would be so mad.
DBZ, thank you for bringing the laughs today. Though in this dark time, we all needed to laugh a little bit today. Anybody in the comments, what was your favorite? What was your favorite villain? It could be from either one. Even Chrono Trigger, throw some in there too, and Blue Dragon. I would love to hear this. Complete acid. Jesus Christ! Yeah, we have this.
I think I may have started something.
Yes, Bubby. I think you started something all right. You just started the next chapter in the Pornhub edition. You started a new category. Why hasn't Pornhub hired you? I'll never know. But but that is actually pretty.
Because I don't want my grandma to come up out the grave and whoop my ass.
but to anybody that's watching, post your favorite character from Dragon Ball, Pornhub Complete Dog Shit Edition. Yeah, from Dragon Ball to DBZ to Chrono Trigger to Blue Dragon, any others. I would love to hear everybody's favorites from that time. It could be hero and villain. It could go there, or side character, or what have
as much as I love Chrono Trigger and Dragon Quest and everything, the best, most iconic villain that Akira Toriyama ever made will always and forever be Frieza. That motherfucker was just iconic evil, and even in Dragon Ball Super in the Tournament of Power, there is just something so satisfying about the way he gets under Jiren's skin. It's just using all the tools that we've known him for against our heroes, and seeing him turn it against a combatant from another universe. There's just something so freaking satisfying about it, and that was just amazing. Frieza is the equivalent of Doctor Doom, Lex Luthor, Darth Vader. This is going. I mean, there are no easy battles against Frieza. And so, yeah, I mean, unless you're PyCon, that was something
else. Yeah, that is something else. Let's see. We got Frieza is the GOAT. I agree. Frieza is the GOAT. I mean, this man single-handedly destroyed an entire fucking planet, mind you, and literally had 4 different forms, although the third form was dog shit. I like the final one, though. The final one was peak.
I like the big head dino form. Come on, man.
No, but
Dude,
it wasn't.
that was like freaking awesome.
It was
Especially like
incredible
after
perspective.
we had already seen the big form, like we'd already seen his big like giant form, and then he turns into that weird compact dino looking thing with the oblong head, and and then he tells Krillin cuts his tail off, and he's like, "I'm gonna eat you now," and I'm like, "Holy shit, this motherfucker looks like he's going to eat him." Like I know that was just in the translation, but damn.
I'm still doing Dragon Ball Super versus Dragon Ball GT, but I'm definitely gonna hold that shit off for now. Uh,
I don't think you should
uh,
hold it off. I do not think you should hold it off. I think now is the perfect time to bring that up. Like I said, both sides have their differences. Both of them had some missteps. Like I said, I don't think I'll ever forgive GT for what they did to Krillin, and I will never forgive Super for what they did to Yamcha. But still, you know, um, I definitely but doing the GT versus S like right now, I think now it's more important than ever. I think you should do it.
yeah, do it because we would pay we would love to see that because now's the time. If you hold
Let's like
back
say we're
on
all broke.
your
Don't tell him we'd pay to see that. We're all broke.
even if we were well, we would still see it no matter what. Even if we were rich or broke, we would still see it. But but yeah, you gotta do that, man. That would be awesome because yeah, I mean I have my issues with Dragon Ball with Dragon Ball GT and I have my issues with Dragon Ball Super, but I like both equally. And are they did they get sucked up into the canon? Well, yes, they did, unfortunately, because every goddamn franchise needs a multiverse, which newsflash, you fucking clowns, they don't. It's ridiculous. I mean, the only ones that could actually get away with it is Star Wars and Marvel, and that's it. With DC too. Those are the only three that can get away with it. It doesn't work with anything else. No, no, wait. I told a lie. I told a lie. So, Marvel, Star Wars, DC, and Final Fantasy. Those are the only four I could think of right now off the top of my head that can get away with doing shit like that. The only four. Any other one, it would be a mess. It'd be a convoluted mess because not only does this retcon that, but also it confuses the whole thing. And quite honestly, it's an argument for another time because of how confusing it is. But Jesus Christ. Not everything needs to have a multiverse. Dragon Ball and Dragon Ball Z are completely fine in of their self. If you want to take Dragon Ball GT and put it as an alternate universe, then that's one thing. I mean, baby, he was a weird looking motherfucker, but he was cool. I liked his character, what he does, and how he takes over people. Now, is it a bit of a ripoff of Boo? Not really. I don't know where that argument originated from, but that was the dumbest argument I have ever heard in my life. People have some bad takes, but that one was the worst. However, I do agree though. I didn't like what they did with Yamcha. I feel like they just did. I don't know what the hell they did, but man, it does not resonate at all. It doesn't fit his character or nothing. Also, another reason why I love Dragon Ball is Dragon Ball Z is the plot twists. Those were perfectly done because remember. We lost. We lost Bubba. There he is. Because if you remember, when it was during the Android saga, when the androids were going to arrive, there was Bulma with who we now know as Baby Trunks. Hindsight is 2020, but at the time though, like you had to witness this stuff in real time. Everybody thought, we all went in thinking that Yamcha and Bulma were gonna finally tie the knot and have the kid. And when they did that twist, every fucking mouth dropped when they found out who the dad was. Every single mouth dropped. You could hear it through the announcement. You could hear it, feel it, and everything. Uh, there's multiverse theories too, for what it's worth. Okay, that I can understand. That I can really understand. Uh, I think people say Baby is a ripoff of Boo is because the way Baby's and Boo's heads looks and the whole body possess. Well, okay, then there's that part of the argument I can definitely see. That I'm willing to accept as an argument right there. You can do that.
Unfortunately, Anime Night, I'm gonna have to take my leave. I'll still hang out in the chat, but I've got to head out. We got a few things popping up, but thanks for having me on. Everybody, have a good night, and remember, this is not just a day of mourning. We're also celebrating how the man lived. Have a good one, y'all.
Exactly. Exactly. And there goes Bubba. As I was saying though, because remember when Bulma said it was Vegeta who was the father, the shock of a lifetime. And there were many more because we all thought that was the end of Goku after the Namek saga because it felt so weird seeing the show without Goku there. It's even weirder when you after the Cell saga too. And thank you again, Bubba. Great having you on as a guest, my friend. I really needed a co-pilot tonight. I really needed a co-pilot. Um, but on top of that, all the twists, but it's just so weird how far ahead Toriyama thought about all this. Like, what if we don't bring back Goku for this time period for this extended time? Yes, it was weird, but at the same time though, it actually almost felt natural. Now you can make the argument that would they still have kept Goku off for the remainder of the Cell Saga? Well, not entirely because it wouldn't work. You could keep him off for extended period of time, but he was still there. Like his omnipresence was still there. That's why he's so beloved and everything. Piccolo did say it best um to Vegeta right before the Boo showdown between him and Boo. Piccolo said because of Goku's good-hearted nature, after death he was able to retain his body because he was so pure at heart and everything. That's the difference between him and Vegeta. But if you look at it from that perspective, Vegeta came a very very long way, and rightfully so, because Vegeta, I give the man credit. We saw what he was like in the Saiyan saga, but and also what makes Dragon Ball and Dragon Ball Z so interesting is the character development. Now, look, if you want to skip all of the power up scenes and keep the fight scenes and everything, you could put that aside for a moment and just look at the characters individually. A lot of them came a very long way. We saw Goku from a kid raised by Grandpa Gohan to being one of the most powerful beings in the universe. One of the few Saiyans left after Planet Vegeta's destruction. You know what was so weird to me, chat? If I were Vegeta and there was a planet named after me, I would have punched Frieza in the face for doing that. My opinion, though, in my opinion, I would have done that. But I just but Akira though, and that's the mindset, the philosophy of it goes back to the philosophy of Akira's writing and storytelling and everything. With each character, you see it. Oh, I had to share screen up. My bad, guys. Um, but what do you guys think? Technically, Vegeta already did. Well, I'm wondering if they already. I didn't know if they showed that or not. I'll have to look at that later on. But on top of that, you can make the argument. Multiple. Well, yeah, he did actually. But I'm saying when he was kidnapped. I don't know if he was. Chad, help me out here. Was Vegeta kidnapped by Frieza, or did he willingly go with him? This is bothering me. So can you guys help me out here? Because I really want to know. Oh yeah, yeah. I understand. So um, but chat. Realistically talking here, did Vegeta get kidnapped by Frieza when he was a kid? Well, when we saw him with Frieza, did he go with him willingly or was he kidnapped? Because I'm trying to remember here. I am literally trying here. Because for the life of me, I can't remember. I need to go back and watch. Oh, that's okay. Um, because that is actually a good question because I thought about it for a while and it's kind of bothered me for a little bit, but I haven't had the chance to like go back and look at it because of how crazy awesome every the whole story is. It's in the little tidbits here and there, like we see who it is. Okay, DBZ and GT for Life says I think he went with Frieza willingly, and Frieza killed his father afterwards. Interesting. But what saga? I have a question. What saga was your? Yeah, mine is too. DBC. Hey guys, I'll be right back. I just gotta use the bathroom real quick. I'll be right back. Hang on one moment. I have a question for you guys when I get. Actually, here's question. What is your least favorite arc? It could be from Dragon Ball Z, or Dragon Ball Super, and Dragon Ball GT. What was your least favorite arc? Comment in the chat. I'll be right back. All right. Sorry about that. Sorry about that, everybody. Hey, I could probably. Okay. My least favorite arc for me, I don't have a least favorite arc from Dragon Ball Z. My least favorite arc was. Oh, you like all the arcs? Okay, I can accept that. I can accept that answer. Um, for me, I want to say. I want to say the Android saga. I feel like they could have done a lot more with that, but then again, given what we had, I could probably see that. But I'm glad that Trunks got his retribution and everything. Although many could argue the Boost saga was probably the weakest of the bunch. Now I can understand because I seen the other side of I seen both sides of the argument, and I agree. But as for Super, what's my least favorite? I didn't like none of them, but the worst for me was the Goku Black arc and that copy Vegeta filler. I heard about that one. That one was really weird. The Goku Black one, that one was a bit confusing in my honest opinion. And um, Super, I will agree. The Black Goku arc kind of confused me. That's like one of my least. However, I like Resurrection, Frieza, and the other arcs in that one. I'm curious though, like what this final one's gonna bring for us, but we'll see. But what about the other? What about others in here? What the question is? What is your least favorite arc? In any of the Dragon Ball, it because we all know, because we could talk about favorites all day, but I'm curious about what the least favorite is. I mean, DBZ and GT for Life already stated his take and everything. Um, I'm curious about other ones. Let's see. I like anything Dragon Ball besides Super. I do have exceptions though. Like I do really like the. Oh, she was gorgeous. Calufala, I believe that's her name. She was gorgeous. I loved her. She was awesome to watch. I love Hit and SSJ God was cool at first, but the music was okay. Anything else was completely ass. Speak your opinion, my friend. Don't hold back. Um, yeah, I like the Android 21. God, she was sexy. I like the Red Ribbon Army arc and the other and going and meeting Krillin and then Master Roshi. The tournaments were awesome. Not many people touch on those, or I could be living under a rock. But I did like the tournaments though. Although I like the one when Goku comes back and they're preparing for the that scene will forever be hilarious. Vegeta just comes walking up. It's like stand aside, mortals. I think he says that. And yeah, I agree. She is super sexy and for research purposes. Research purposes, people. Um, so I remember the tournaments and because they were a nice way to introduce like newer characters. We got to meet Piccolo in one of them and so many others. Though I feel like the Afterlife tournament that Goku was a part of, the ceiling counting as the floor, yeah, that's crap, sir. That is the one of the dumbest rules I have ever heard in the Dragon Ball Z tournaments. But then again, but then again, I don't know what they were. I don't know what the creator was on at the time to make a ruling like that. No, you're good, Bacon. You're good. I get people are busy and everything, but if I had to pick an arc that is my least favorite that I've watched, only saw the Jiren fight of the Super, the first arcs of GT. Fair point. Starts slow at first, but it gets better later, like later on in the series. Um, the introduction of Pan was very interesting though. But in Dragon Ball Super, I do not like Trunks' blue hair. I mean, come on, come on here. We all know, we all know, this is the goated outfit, the goated look for Trunks. We all know this. Heck, I like the hyperbolic time chamber one with the longer hair. That's my second favorite of that. But the super one, no, thank you. I like classy. I like original. It's like keep it classy, like classy Freddy Blassie, baby. but also for any artist out there who is watching, what inspired what how did I know I asked this earlier, but I'm going to ask again because I don't think I got everybody's opinion on it. Yeah, yes, I hate blue hair Trunks, even though it was what Akira wanted, but still love my purple hair Trunks. I agree with you. I can respect his wishes, though. I'll respect the wishes of Akira. I'll respect it. I'm not going to argue too much. I don't like it, but if that's what Akira wanted, then I'm okay with that. I won't argue with the man. Um, but to all the artists out there who are watching, how did Akira uh, Toriyama inspire you as an artist? I know some of you answered, but I didn't get everybody in the whole thing, so I'm asking again. Oh, there's Geek Hero.
Yeah, I wasn't expecting you to still be live by the time I was able to come back, but here you are, so here I am. Oh,
Yeah,
but
yeah, me and chat, we were just like talking about our least favorite arcs and everything. Um,
mm,
I Yeah, I could go live. I could stay around for another 20 more minutes because I
that's
really
cool.
want to get. I want to make sure everybody gets a chance to like catch the stream and have a have like some some fun with like remembering a great legend and everything. Just reminisce and all that because this is how what anime fans do. We all come together to celebrate the life of a wonderful man who is forever etched in the halls of history. Let's see. I am an artist, but my inspiration for art was spawned from an Image comics at first. Then Dragon Ball was my inspiration, and with that, my inspiration was watching other people draw Dragon Ball Z. Oh, interesting.
Excellent. Yeah, Image Comics and Dragon Ball have a lot of correlation. Like you'll notice, Image Comics, being that most of the superheroes in Image Comics were mercenaries or ex criminals, or even some of them. Hell, the Darkness was an active mob boss and still a superhero, And so you see, people wondered why the streets picked up on it, why why gangbangers and stuff liked them so well. It's because they weren't necessarily true blue Boy Scout superheroes. Well, the same can be said for Dragon Ball Z, because this wasn't Superman and Batman. This wasn't straight up superheroism. I mean, Vegeta became a hero, started out as a villain, became a hero, but it was nothing to see him blow people's brains out. Like, it was nothing to see him put a hole, cave through somebody's chest. And Goku was a fighter first and foremost. So, I mean, yeah, his heart might have been pure, his intentions might have been pure, but at the end of the day, you saw blood fly, you saw, bones broken, and that's something that a lot of people didn't see from traditional superhero comics or cartoons. And so it was really Image Comics had a big role in that, and so did Dragon Ball Z. That's another reason why people like One Piece so much, because they might be protagonists, but they're pirates. And so they don't necessarily have to make the most morally right decision every time, and they don't get any scrutiny for it because they're pirates. And so yeah.
I agree. And 1 second. Just answering a message real quick. Alright. Spawn and Goku being my favorite characters of all time. Image comics and Dragon Ball are my favorite stuff. Oh, absolutely.
That's awesome, man.
Image comics and everything. My goodness, we captivated an audience tonight.
Just a second, just a second. Let me show off my clipboard real quick. Like I gotta get this light turned on and everything.
Hey, let me put you on solo for a minute. Hang on, I got you. There you go.
Yeah. There. Yeah. But yeah, no, I got.
I see Piccolo.
Yeah.
I see Piccolo. So many awesome. Look at all this. It's amazing how. See, this is why we are fans of all this, and the impact that these artists and these creators have on us, because we do go out and we do support and everything because we grew up with it at the time. Like, you had to be there to experience it. I mean, you could still experience it if you're the first time, because believe me, I would love to re-experience all of this again. I would do it at a drop of a hat, and I would love to experience all the first animes all over again.
Well, I mean, I just broke the news to one of my coworkers. Uh, he came in, at midnight, and I'm back because we ain't got any. We're shorthanded, but that's not the point. The point is that I broke the news to him, and he's been watching Dragon Ball Z with his kids, and Dragon Ball and Dragon Ball Z, and so they're experiencing it, and like he has described it as re-experiencing it for the first time because he's seeing it through the eyes of his kids, and seeing it with them. And so, I mean, there's always ways to experience things for the first time again. Just because it's not your first time this time doesn't mean that you can't help somebody else experience some for the first time. It's like a joke that you've told so many times it ain't funny anymore, but then you tell it to someone who's never heard it, before, and sometimes just how hard they react, how much they laugh at it, makes you laugh all over again. So it's there is no such thing when something is timeless. And Dragon Ball Z, and and all the Dragon Ball properties, they are nothing if not timeless. You can always re-experience them, and there's always something new to latch onto.
I I agree. It's always very cool to like experience something for the first time and just have an amazing experience, and also get to share the experience with everybody. It's become timeless, and that's why people, everybody who's seen Dragon Ball, you don't have to like it or anything, but you also can't deny the cultural impact it has on the society of today. I mean, imagine being a kid in the 80s, seeing for the first time the Dragon Ball manga, and hindsight's 2020, people. Imagine that one series still being talked about 40 years later. That is the power of creativity from that man over there, Mr. Akira Toriyama. Everything comes from that creative mind. Hi, Grace. Dragon Ball was my first anime. R.I.P. Toriyama. Dragon Ball was the first, and then we had Dragon Ball Z on Toonami. really, really wonderful shows. I already showed my collection earlier, but I have like a whole lot of GT over there and everything. I don't have the energy to bring it all over here. We would be here all night. um, so I just did with the first the first four seasons of Dragon Ball Z, and then the original Dragon Ball. And gotta go sooner. Another chat to mod. I will say Goku did have a penchant for turning old rivals and even villains into allies. He did, and that's what makes him the pinnacle of Dragon Ball of the whole Dragon Ball saga. That's what makes him so good, and he was the perfect. He was a good role model for many reasons because he understands. Rarely do you see him get angry, but when you see him angry, you might want to run because he's scary when he's angry. Also, and I'll go further. The first time he transformed into a Super Saiyan, that was the talk of the town. You couldn't go 5 minutes without hearing someone talking about it at lunch or on the way to class, during class, on the way to school, after school. You couldn't stop 5 minutes just to hear about it. That's how awesome it was to experience at that time, because seeing Goku finally lose it, going Super Saiyan blonde, it's like, oh my god, that is so awesome. Frieza's in trouble. Like, you cheered on. Heck, you even cheered on the bad guys sometimes. We all done that before. We all done that
Well,
some.
that's the thing. It's like go into the Dragon Ball Super for a moment. It's at the end of the Tournament of Power. When you realize, like, because somehow Earth 7 has to freaking win. But the thing is that when the five final combatants out of the six universes, 10 each, out of 60 combatants, you're down to five combatants, and four of them are from Earth 7. So the fact of the matter is, that their opponent Jiren has to win. There is no way. He has spent so much time relying on his psychic armor and everything. He has no choice but to ring out every one of all four of these opponents before the time limit is up, because by the rules, he is not. He can't be crowned the best fighter, because he has to win. There is no ifs, ands, or buts. He has to win. And so when you see Vegeta give the rest of his power to Goku, you see Goku, fulfill Ultimate Instinct, but still, or Ultra Instinct, but still come up short. That, like I mentioned earlier, you love that exchange between Jiren and Frieza. There is just something so satisfying about seeing everything we have fucking hated about Frieza for decades, seeing him turn it on an opponent, and you don't even feel sorry for Jiren, because you've seen how he treats his own allies. You've seen you've seen him lose his mind and try to kill Goku's allies, even though we know that the Zenos wouldn't have let that happen. That's not the point. The point is that his sentiments. You have no more sympathy for him. So this becomes, and this is my favorite thing. I love villain on villain fights. That is my favorite part about comic books. That is my favorite part about television shows. You always want to see the hero win. And when heroes fight, you don't want to see either of them win. But for the love of God, I fucking love the carnage that comes from villain on villain fights. They play for keeps. They hit hard, they hit fast, and they do not let the fuck up. And it is just, like I said, and Frieza's been lurking so fucking long, he knows all of the backstory. He knows exactly what to say, everything to get under Jiren's skin, and we see him taunt him Even when Frieza's getting knocked the fuck out, he's still taunting him in ways that make him fight sloppy. It is just absolutely spec-fucking-tacular. And so there are times you root for the villains, and they're just well, hell, even back when Vegeta was just an uneasy ally back on planet Namek, you don't want to see Frieza's guys win. You know Vegeta's an asshole. You've seen him slaughter entire Namekian clans, but for the sake of the freaking universe and for and for many other worlds that Vegeta needs to win. And so you find yourself rooting for the villain, or for a villain, not the villain, and that's what that's what makes a good story. Marvel has been able to do it for years. Though in the 2099 series, when Doom wakes up to a future where him taking over the world is a mercy to the world, you are rooting for Doctor Doom in Doom 2099 to freaking save the world by taking it over. And it's just it's a weird feeling, but the best creators can make you want past villains to win, make you root for them, make you feel what they feel and understand why, empathize with them in ways that don't excuse the past atrocities they've committed, but make you look to the future rather than to their past. Akira Toriyama definitely could do that.
Absolutely. And I feel like Cell was the most terrifying. He was terrifying as a kid. When you're growing up and you get to the Cell saga, and then everybody is like, where is everybody? Because that whole town, vapor, like, gone. All you see is clothing and everything. You're like, what the hell happened here? And then you see him, but you don't see him. You hear mentions, and then Kami comes out, and he has seen it for the last I think it was either 3 or 4 years. He has watched the Earth, and something evil was approaching. It's been there, and we first see the giant cicada skin and everything. That creeptastic. And then the news of Gingertown. Yeah, it was Gingertown. Yeah, it was Gingertown. That whole nightmarish event. And you see the cameraman's, not the cameraman, you see the reporter's face in pure shock, like behind the cameraman, and they get wiped out. That is how you introduce a villain. You don't say too much. You let it. You just let it grow natural. You just let it come naturally. That is how you introduce a villain, ladies and gentlemen. Frieza, he was out in the spotlight, like in your face. Same with Vegeta and Nappa. Like, you feel it, and also Raditz too. Can't forget about Raditz. You feel the tension. Like, you feel like, whoa, who is this guy? Why does he have such a menacing presence? Like, you feel it. Like, you may not physically feel it there, but you could just tell, like, oh, this is the bad guy. This is boss material level right here. Oh yeah, the end. Well, except for who was that? Who was that tub of lard, Andrew? Was that was
talking about Android 19?
Yeah, that guy was trash.
The one that looked like a robot mime. But that was the thing. Like, well, yeah, but his voice was funny. First off, His look was funny, but there was just something great about seeing Goku like contract that heart virus. He had already contracted it, but see it finally take effect. And and then of course you're like, no, there is no way in hell Goku's about to lose to this motherfucker. And then all of a sudden, Vegeta pops up out of fucking nowhere and he turns Super Saiyan and he blasts the motherfucker in one fucking punch, like just BAM, And it was almost as iconic as Goku turning Super Saiyan for the first time, because we see Vegeta, and Vegeta isn't just able to go Super Saiyan. Vegeta fucking does it and can control it. Like, this ain't his first time going Super Saiyan. Like, he has perfected this, made it to Earth just in time to fucking save Goku's ass. Like, that was just so fucking perfect.
Like, and that's like, and go back to and go back to character arcs and everything. If you put aside like the fights and everything, if you put all that aside for a moment and you just grab all those characters and you watch them from the beginning, we saw. I know I'm repeating myself a bit here, but it bears repeating on this. We saw Goku go from a kid to probably one of the most respected individuals.
To a literal grandpa.
Yeah, on the planet. On the planet, we saw Vegeta go from being Frieza's little bitch boy all the way to being a dad of all things, and seeing him trained with his son. You cheer it on because it's like, yes, this is perfect. Hell, he even married Bulma. That whole conglomerate of a shock right there. That was the big one right there. That was a big twist.
Yeah, no, and it was great when Trunks, first arrives from the future, and he reveals to Goku who he is, and it's a moment because you can almost see it. You're like, if Goku isn't, where's this saying from, And once he says it, it makes sense. But most of us were little kids when we saw it. We were expecting Vegeta to be his father when he said he was from the future. We were not expecting, we weren't expecting for Bulma to be his mother, except for when you look at him, he looks like Bulma, but more importantly, he looks like Bulma's father, Dr. Brief. He has the same haircut. Like, he's got the same head shape. He fucking looks like Bulma's father, just way younger. And so it's really cool when you think about it. Like, the art style on him was perfect, and it was the best hint we could have gotten to his identity before he told us.
I think this is the best I can get this. But yeah, you are correct, though. Just look at the hair, everything. It almost matches to a T. If you turned it like Bulma's, like completely blue, like Bulma, it's a definite match too. Let's see. Please don't bash Yamcha because I know where this is going. Oh no, we're not gonna bash.
Oh, we were not bashing Yamcha. No, we're defending Yamcha. We are defending Yamcha. Like, yeah, you have to understand. Aquaman is one of my favorite superheroes. And so seeing Yamcha get that same treatment, like, I'm a Yamcha fan. But bear in mind, even with all the injustices towards Yamcha, let's be perfectly honest here. When and that very first time Beerus shows up, when Yamcha pats him on the back and knocks him off balance, even Yamcha, who's supposedly supposed to be their weakest, was able to knock the Destroyer God off balance, and catch him by surprise. Like, Beerus did not sense him coming up behind him. So even though he's no match for him, it's just, you got to think about this. If we're using Yamcha as the gauge here, Yamcha has not been an active fighter in forever, and yet he's still, and by the end of the Tournament of Power Art, Beerus understands that because of the trajectory he put Earth on, even without the Saiyans, even if you take out the Saiyans, if all of the fighters of Earth, like all of the just human fighters of Earth, and maybe Piccolo too, but even if you put all of them together with their ingenuity and their cunning, if he wanted to destroy Earth, he would have to do it very quickly, because if he gives them any time at all, they will find a way to thwart him. And that's the thing. Like that's what I loved. Say what you will about Super. GT's biggest flaw, yes, I've brought up the Krillin thing twice now, but GT's biggest flaw was that if they weren't a Saiyan, they got almost no love. Super, on the other hand, does fix that, and I know GT for Life is about to get very upset with me. Super fixes that in a sense, because we finally see that being the most powerful fighter, like, and that was another thing. If you were not the most powerful fighter in GT, you didn't win. If you were not the, Super allows for power, for power imbalances to be made up for with cunning and technique. The reason why they didn't take Goten and Trunks to the Tournament of Power, despite how powerful both of those kids are, they, despite how powerful they are when they fuse, the fact of the matter is that they are still too young. First of all, Goten is like the poster boy for ADHD if I've ever seen it in my life. And Trunks has all of his father's pride and all of his mother's, all of his mother's arrogance and his father's pride. You could goad that little bastard into, I guess he's not a bastard, but you get my point. You could goad him into anything. Like, he would knock himself off the damn ledge. So, I mean, it's just one of those things you've got to, you've got to love. Oh, just a moment. I've seen videos where people say Percy Jackson can beat Aquaman, and it's true because Percy Jackson is very powerful, and I'm not upset, but GT kept things in perspective is the thing. Yeah, okay, and I'm not bashing GT by any means. I fucking love GT. I like Super 2, but, I love Percy Jackson. I've been reading those books since they came out. The new books, I'm going to start getting into them, but the thing is, the thing is I will say this. I do believe that Aquaman is the king of Atlantis. That motherfucker can, he's literally holding it down 75% of this planet. The dude, his body alone takes pressures that, just to be able to reach the bottom of the Marianas Trench and still be able to move freely there, the power scale of what he has to be able to endure. And I mean, let's face it, we have seen Superman, punch him full on, and his face connects with that punch, and this is the same punch that can bust mountains and can break, demigods, and yet Arthur Curry still gets back up and delivers a return punch. There is, no, I don't think Percy Jackson stands a snowball's chance in a drowned hell of fighting Aquaman. I think Aquaman takes that 99 times out of 100, and that one time Percy does win is because Poseidon is literally standing there daring Aquaman to strike.
Exactly, because that's how it goes with how everything is. And say what you will about Yamcha and everything, but the fact is that he wasn't Trunks' father was like the biggest shocker to everybody, because I remember all the Yamcha fans, they got so angry after that reveal, because at first they do mention it, but later on when you really look at it, when you see Vegeta and Trunks in the same room, you see it. Like, you just can sit back and be like, yeah, he's definitely his son. Like, beyond a shadow of a doubt. But we all love Yamcha, though. He's our goofball. We all love him.
And
I think
and we do. Yeah. Well, and that's the thing. I don't know if that could have worked, because Bulma constantly accused him of cheating on her, and he never did. So I mean, whereas Vegeta, she knew he wasn't cheating on her because he was off fighting and getting himself battered the fuck up on other planets. So I mean, or training himself to the bone. She fucking knew where he was 24/7, even if she didn't really know where he was. But when it's all said and done, like as far as Yamcha goes, and it's Trunks, I do. First off, Akira Toriyama might have, forgotten a few characters. He might have, he might have let a few characters slide, or let them fall off. But let's be honest here. Akira Toriyama set up a world that somehow, some way, even if, say, the 10 fighters that went to the Tournament of Power, say they won, we got to keep the world, but they didn't come back. There is definitely a world out there, an alternate reality out there, that could exist where Yamcha, despite not being as powerful as them, continues to train Goten and Trunks. There is still a world out there where where he he becomes the turtle hermit, if you will, becomes the master that everybody comes to. The heroes that are left behind. Yajirobe's not powerless. He's lazy, but he ain't weak. And there are still Chaozu is not powerless. He's not as powerful, but he ain't weak. And the thing is that it's important to remember that even these background heroes in the Dragon Ball universe still have value. They're still powerful. They are still stronger than the rest of the planet. And I'll tell you, I've never really had this problem with Dragon Ball Z, but like the movies, the non-canon movies, my biggest problem with them, like take Triamite for instance. And Akira Toriyama did not do these, so none of this blame lays on him. But the thing is that take Triamite for instance. When they came to Earth and everybody got their ass kicked except Goku, and then all of a sudden Goku's fighting 5-on-1, that was fucking retarded. That was ridiculous. Oh, excuse the R word. Sorry about that. But that was ridiculous. There is no way in a blue blind blazing hell, just by the sheer law of math, that all of the rest of the Z Warriors should have gotten their asses kicked in that first round. Like, that made no damn sense whatsoever. I get it, if a couple of them won that round and then lost later, and then it was like maybe 2-on-1, 3-on-1 against Goku. But there is no way in hell Goku should have been fighting that alone towards the end. And that's not the only movie they do that in. And, it's just, now of course the Broly movies were great, and we love Vic Mignogna, of course, yeah. But the thing is that one made more sense because Goku fell short too. The only reason Goku was able to beat Broly was because the others put their energy and their trust in him to win, and so it made sense. And so you win some, you lose some with the non-canon movies, but nobody can deny every fucking one of them are a wild ride. And even the ones that aren't canon. But that was one of the things. The reason why I loved the Garlic Jr. filler saga so much. You mentioned it earlier, but I have that on DVD. Like, I have Dragon Ball Z Kai on DVD, but I know Kai, ew, But anyway, that was the one I could get my.
That'll be our final segment. The Dragon Ball Z Kai.
But that
segment. But keep going.
Yeah, but that was what I could get my hands on at the time. But anyway, the point is that I have a copy of the mini filler arc, and it's only 4 episodes long. But the thing is what I loved about that is because Goku still ain't made it back from Yardrat yet. Like, this is before Frieza lands, and they found a place to kind of put it in the canon. We have to see the other hero. We have to see Piccolo, Krillin, and Gohan fight against this guy that has almost killed Goku in the past. And I love the premise of that. I love that they didn't have Goku to save him this time, and that they had to win, and they had to do so with cunning. They, especially when he, when he. Finding out, the fun way that he can't, that Garlic Jr. couldn't die. Like, that was, this motherfucker is, huge, and he's fighting with a giant hole in his stomach, and, I mean, it was just a great arc that, every once in a while you want to see the background heroes win. In Marvel and DC, I have a huge collection of, C and D list heroes, because they face the same villains. They often have the same, face the same threats. They save the world just as much, but they do so with less power and way less recognition. I fucking love Beta Ray Bill. I love Thunderstrike. U.S. Agent is cool, and the MCU kind of did him dirty, but they've done a lot of things dirty. But I mean, it's just you've got you got to show some love to these background heroes, and say what you will about the exterior or extra canon, the not quite canon stuff. The Dragon Ball superhero manga. They gave Yamcha a love interest. They gave him a chance to shine and to actually, to actually be the hero of his own story. And it's impossible not to love that. It's impossible not to be like, yeah, this is great. We're finally seeing, we're finally seeing these other heroes, shine for the first time since their debut. But yeah, all right, man, I'll let you wrap things up.
No, keep going, man. We got this. We I can't even talk right now. Jesus Christ.
Well, you said 20 more minutes 30 minutes ago, so I'm trying to be good and let you said that Dragon Ball Z Kai would be our last segment there. So how many people remember when that hit Nickelodeon? Like, because I'll tell you, I was in my last year of high school. I think was it 2010 or was it 2009 when it hit?
I want to say we were watch. Oh Jesus Christ! Now you got me wondering. Hang on. Thank God I have a fucking PC to do this shit. Imagine doing this on. It was way harder doing this on phone. It was at 2000. Yeah, it was 2009. So you were correct the first time. You were correct. It was
okay. Not yeah, yeah. So I was like that. That's why that was my senior year in high school that was dropping, and I had seen the Majin Buu saga, but bear in mind, like, it wasn't like I had access to it on DVD and everything. So I remember coming home from school, and my little brother's 9 years younger than me, and so he was, he was coming home from school too and everything. He was a lot younger than me, and he was watching Dragon Ball Z for the first time. And here, here I am, getting to watch it with him, getting to re-experience it. It had been so long since I saw those early episodes that, I didn't even, I didn't even notice the differences until the second, and Nickelodeon showed the reruns of those over and over again. It was spectacular. I'm not going to pretend it wasn't, but, it was cool because I remember the first week it hit air. They had released that they were showing 4 episodes a night for the first, they got us to Planet Namek, or they got us halfway through Planet Namek, like halfway through that saga before they started only showing, showing 1 episode a night for the second month, and then they started going to only 1 episode a week, and of course they wrapped it up, like they finished the Cell saga, but didn't give us Majin Buu until later, but that, and they didn't air that on TV. They just released that on, I want to say it was one of the online services, but that's not the point. The point is that getting to re-experience it, getting to relive it, and even then I was like, those aren't the same voice actors in some cases, but we were able to forgive it because it was Dragon Ball Z, and most of us needed Dragon Ball Z in our life again.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, as wacky as it was, even though it was so convoluted and everything, and it looked like and the edits were like really out there. Because if you grew up on the original Dragon Ball Z, you notice the edits right away, like where they edited and everything.
Well, like I said, I had only seen the original Dragon Ball Z, and not even all of it. Like, I saw most of it. So, like, I saw bits and pieces back in the day. It was fractured. So, I didn't notice as much as I should have noticed. But, even then, I noticed not all the voice acting was the same and everything. And real quick, What are you talking about? This Reese's Puff cereal, the Dragon Ball Reese's Puff cereal. I'm gonna have to look into that.
Yeah, I mean, shit, I want a box. You know, it'd be a nice collector's item right there. I'll eat the whole fucking box, but then I'll seal it back up and
Y'all
call
better
it
see
good.
Yajirobe on there. I better see Yajirobe on there at some point.
But it's so wild how like all the iterations of Dragon Ball came to be. We got the original, then we got Dragon Ball Z, then we got Dragon Ball Z GT, then Kai, and now Super. That many years, same guy coming out with this. I'm it's impeccable how one man churned out all these beloved characters. Well, he had help with other people. I mean, others helped him with the character designs and everything, but still, the ideas that he had and all the lore behind it, it's such it's bittersweet, honestly, because we're we're in a Bubba, you, me, and everybody that's been in the stream tonight and everywhere else. We're the generation that grew up on this shit from the get-go, who had a chance to see it on TV, on from Toonami, and we got to see the films too. Heck, we survived the Dragon Ball Z Evolution movie. We survived that at least. So we are the people who are here. We're still here. And we see all the new people come in and we welcome them with open arms. It's like, hey, it doesn't have to be your cup of tea, but as long as but if you know what Dragon Ball is, more power to you. Because
Well, you
everybody,
notice the Wokies don't come after Master Roshi. They know better because they know
they
we
won't.
will go to war for Master Roshi. He can be as perverted as he wants to be. Now I know he kind of worked that through. Doesn't mean he ain't perverted no more. It just means he ain't letting it distract him in battle. But motherfucker, they know not to come after him. Just saying.
Yeah. Mammoth, I could get you in for a few. I can get you in for a few more minutes on this stream. Just get your final thoughts into. I'm not gonna abandon you, buddy. Let me find the invite. There it is. Hang on, Mammoth. I'm coming. Hang on. There you go, Mammoth. But it's also amazing how. Yeah, yes, that right there. Master
Oh,
Roshi
and say
must
what you
be
will.
that.
Say what you will. Kind of like in M. Night Shyamalan's Last Airbender. Uncle Iroh, even though he wasn't even the right ethnicity, that guy playing Uncle Iroh was the one good part about that movie. Dragon Ball Evolution. Nobody can deny that Master Roshi, Chow Yun Fat, did an awesome Master Roshi. Even if the rest of that movie was terrible, Chow Yun Fat did an awesome Master Roshi. Master Roshi must be Master Roshi. You are absolutely correct.
Yep.
I
And
see bits and pieces of that horrible movie.
Like I said,
we're
if
on
it didn't have the name Dragon Ball on it, it'd be a pretty decent movie.
Give or take, yeah.
yeah, give or take, but oh, May was extreme. Well, there was that
I
too.
agree.
I mean, there was that. There was that. So at least we got two good things out of that disaster movie. But like I was saying though, we are the generation that saw the evolution of Goku from the get-go. We got to experience the first Super Saiyan transformation, Frieza's final transformation, seeing Trunks, Bulma, and Vegeta as a family. Everything, all of that, and I feel like it should be preserved because we do have the physical media stuff. Go and get it, ladies and gentlemen. Get the physical media while you can, because This is about preserving this man's legacy. Because I hate getting political on this. I hate it as much as the next person, because this is a tribute stream. But for the sake of it, We gotta protect this stuff from the people who wish to do what they did to many other franchises after the original people passed away. We're still here, and we are not going anywhere because who else is going to stand up to these clowns? Who else?
Yeah.
No one.
No.
Because they're looking at us. I mean, yeah, we're still around and everything, but it's also up to the new generation to preserve this. And it warms my heart seeing the chat and everything. I mean, in full agreement. Look at this. Look at the chat tonight. Everybody came out in droves to honor this man. And that is a beautiful thing to see as anime fans because it's nice to see a community. Even though you may not like Dragon Ball or Dragon Ball Z, but you cannot deny the impact it has left on us as a society, as fans of this
It's a
franchise.
franchise. Dragon Ball Z is a franchise that is just as recognizable in pop culture as as Star Trek, as Star Wars, Superman, Fantastic Four, X Men. There is no first world country and most third world countries that do not know. Well, I mean, you would have a hard time finding a place that has a working television and cell phones that does not know that Dragon Ball Z exists, even if they ain't never even seen it. They know it exists.
It precisely, and I and it deserves a spot at the table of the most beloved franchises in the last 40 years. It deserves that title to be the talk because yeah, people look at anime like it's crazy and whatnot, and yes, they are correct. It is very crazy. But at the same time, though, when you step back and look at it from a cultural standpoint, from a cultural standpoint, you have to appreciate the fact that it really brought everybody to that level where they embrace it because it's the same with comic book fans. We all went through in some form or fashion. We got the beatings, we got the name calling, we had shit dumped on us, and we were told that our stuff is trash, but we earned those badges and those stripes because we still held on to our love for it, and that's why that makes the fans that's what makes the fan. If a person gave up on their love for a thing, it's heartbreaking. But also, it's really wonderful to see everybody from a community all come together. It's a blessing, and to witness it firsthand. If I was Akira and saw all this outpour of love and everything, I would be crying right now. Knowing that man, I think he knows how much he's appreciated, and God help us, we gotta
I
protect
definitely think he knows now.
yeah, and I know, and we must definitely protect Miyazaki and the others because those people are literally. I don't know how big I don't know how many people are left from that era of storytelling and all that, but I guarantee you it's got to be at least 50%, like somewhere
Yeah.
in that margin. But that's what also drives the anime fans. We could talk about all other kinds of forms of anime and everything, from Gundam to everything, but here, this is the pinnacle. This is the grand packet of anime, and Akira is up there as the main one of the main influencers of the time, and
Yeah. Just
still is to this day. Look at all the people he's influenced. Look at the chat. Everybody's influenced by him in some form or fashion. I too have been influenced by him because of all the characters and seeing the life lessons behind in Dragon Ball Z. They're there. They are there, and it shows even at the worst moment, the character can still come. The person can still come back, and we've seen it time and time again. And and truth does hurt and everything, but it's better to be hit with the truth than with the lie, because I will forever hold that I will forever look at that scene with Piccolo and Vegeta right before Vegeta goes to fight Boo and everything. Piccolo tells him the straight truth, and you cannot deny that. That is a powerful truth right there, because Vegeta asked a question, and Piccolo's like, "Look, you're not gonna like this answer, but I'm gonna tell you it anyway." And he tells Vegeta why Goku is so different and everything, and how he was able to retain his physical body and all that. You can look at that from any perspective with any villain, any hero, even us, and you see it has a deeper meaning than that, and it rings true to this day. Mammoth, what is your whole thing on this? Go ahead. The floor is yours.
I think it's just sad, that he passed away. I figured, maybe he'd have a few more years. You know, he was my idol, and his philosophy on just combining and mishmashing a lot of things, if I remember correctly from one interview, um, just inspired me to like do something with making a comic or something like that. I'm writing a book right now, but I have an artist at the moment.
Exactly. Um, real quick. I know we're at final
I,
segment, but Mammoth.
I
What was your favorite? What was your favorite arcs from the series?
yeah, and I apologize. I don't mean to be like shilling myself. That would be terrible. You know.
No, you're good,
He
man.
he
Because
he's never minded in the past. He's very friendly towards that sort of thing.
Yeah, but I just think it's disrespectful to Akira.
not really, because we want all because I asked the chat tonight to share their opinions. I know this is Akira Toriyama's tribute stream, but as fans, and we're also celebrate, as Geek Hero has perfectly stated, we're also celebrating the life of this legend, so we could talk about our love for the work and everything. And if
Well, and
you
all you
are,
really said was that you're making yours because you were inspired by him, and that's your way to tribute, man. You're not shilling yourself. You're it's an admission of inspiration. I mean there's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah, yeah, you're right.
exact,
Yeah,
but go ahead, Mammoth. What were you trying to say? Go ahead.
yeah. Like I used to watch a lot of the uncensored version of Dragon Ball Kai. It was like a more streamlined version, but I really should watch the originals. Um, I really liked it. I mean, the Boo Saga, Cell, Cell's probably one of my favorites. You know, Frieza. Frieza was kind of like the inspiration for Galvelius when I made that villain. Because it's like, I tried to make some of those, like, how do I say it? Like, androgynous, like Frieza. That's like a unit.
Also, yeah, I've met Linda Young in person. That woman is incredible, and she will straight up sign her stuff the OG Frieza.
Oh my god, yeah, I want to
She is incredible, man.
Yeah, I want to meet her sometime. That'd be cool.
Yeah, I had the honor of meeting um of Kyle Hebert last year at Game on Expo. Dude was so amazing. And look, we can say what we want about Chris and Sheen, but at the same time, we can in a way appreciate their work and all that
Yeah, absolutely.
to a degree. You're like to a degree. We're not going to deny them that. We have no right to do that. Yeah, we may not like them, but at the same time, as time goes on, we've learned to appreciate their stuff. Yeah, they say the worst shit and have done some very questionable things, but we can't deny the fact that they too have a part in the world of Dragon Ball.
Yeah.
I say they do the characters very well, and yes, and that's okay. We can hate her we can hate her as much as we want, but at the same time though, her work at the same time we can also respect. We can hate the
Yeah.
person, but we can't hate the characters though, because they too are a part of all of this. It's kind of really hard not to, but at the same time, time heals over time. Time heals all wounds over time. But at the same time, though, it's okay to feel that way. But also, we appreciate the characters because they are just as important to the whole series and everything. Whether the Japanese sub VAs or the dub, it really doesn't matter. I mean, Broly is great and everything. I love Vic is awesome. Linda Young is awesome. Damon Mills, I get he's trying. He's trying as Frieza. I'm willing to give him a chance.
Mm.
Um, Kirby, God rest that man's soul. He was great. He was phenomenal in his role. Um, it's just it's bittersweet that Toriyama did what he loved, and he died knowing that he did something right in the wonderful world of anime and manga. Because all the fans that come together, like us tonight, like everybody tonight, shows how big of an impact. I just spent the like as we were live and everything, I just spent the last 20 minutes reading through all the posts, everything. There's a huge outpour, like 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 36 dams just open, even longer of all the outpour and everything, and it's a beautiful thing to see. I'm pretty sure his family, even though and I respect the family and everything, but they too gotta know that who whether it's their son, anything like that, they gotta be proud knowing that he is beloved by the community that he pioneered at that time. Up until now. But Mammoth, what's your final thoughts?
I think he's a genius. And the man really was a master of his craft. It's such a shame to see all these old legends going out. You know, like we had a lot of greats and everything. Yeah.
Bravo, what is your final thoughts?
Nobody knows they're going to make a cultural phenomenon. Everybody wants to. Everybody wishes that they will, but nobody knows for sure if they're going to. He definitely did, and he helped with several others. Like I said before, Dragon Quest, one of the biggest video game, one of the biggest JRPG franchises of all time.
Yeah.
Chrono Trigger, one of the biggest single game. Yeah, I know it had a sequel, but a lot of people, you'd be surprised how many people don't know that Chrono Cross even exists. But
is it any good?
I like it. It's not exact. It's not the same. The game mechanics are a little different, but it holds up. It's pretty decent, But the point is that he has been a part of so many, and not just childhood, but he's got generations of people who have loved, enjoyed, and been inspired by his work. And yeah, he was taken from us a little soon. It's not he didn't live a short life, but he didn't live a long life either. But he definitely lived a spectacular life. And because of that, we know his name. And even if somebody doesn't know his name, they know his work. And the fact of the matter remains that he left his mark on this world. He left his mark on our culture, and we geeks saw it first.
Yeah.
Everybody that grew up from like the 80s to our time period, like yours and mine, Bubba, and of course even Mammoths, that transcended that 40 years right there is longevity. You can make the argument that Star Wars is there, but but Dragon Ball Z in of itself deserves to be up there in the pop culture icons of history. It deserves to be up there, no contest, because it's a part
And
of
it
the
is.
culture.
It is absolutely up there.
And that's also like one of the cornerstones of anime. Say what you will about Gundam and Mecha, they too earn their place and everything, but here is where it's also has its own place, and you could not many people will like it, and that's a-okay. We're not gonna down to these people or not. No, we don't do that. If they don't like it, then it's okay. But for at least it should be, in my humble opinion, and I mean this in very respectful manners, I feel like Dragon Ball and Dragon Ball Z should be viewed at least one time in somebody's collection of anime. At least once. At least once. And go from there. If they don't like it, well, at least they got to watch it and enjoy it for what it is. It's not everybody's cup of tea, but also to the people like us who did grow up with the limited resources that we had at the time to even watch that to begin with. It's more than that. It's a staple on our childhood for many years to come, and I really hope that this new generation upholds that, because we're not going to be around forever.
Oh no.
And we want to make, and this is why I encourage people, go out. If you're a big Dragon Ball Z fan, go out, get the stuff, keep the legacy alive, because if we do not preserve legacy, there is no future for anything.
Oh no. I mean, look at my physical media collection. You know why I collect these things? Because I want to be able to keep them.
Exactly. And Akira wanted the whole thing to be loved by everybody.
Yeah.
But big in closing, Akira Toriyama, wherever you are in that afterlife, we humbly thank you for creating one of the biggest franchises out there and being an inspiring person on this gracious planet that we call Earth. I mean, look at all the outpour and everything. We loved your work. Um, I want to also big thank you to everybody who came out here tonight. Um, Anybody who's going to be watching the replay this, anybody who's going to be watching the replay, the questions are going to be: what is your favorite saga? What is your least favorite? Who are your favorite characters? And how did Toriyama inspire you? Those are the four main questions that I want to leave with everybody on that one for the replay. Because and right now I want to say big thank you to Sailor Outlaw George for coming on by, uh, Ghost GDL, uh, Test, Freaky, uh, Pony Throat. I That's still funny to me. Sean Fisher, uh, Impernator Forge, Andy Matrix. Go check out his stuff. He's really cool and really talented. Uh,
Um,
Geek
yes.
Detective Pierce for the magnificent breakdown of the medical and the cause of death, because it was internal hemorrhaging, from like the English translation of what he passed away from. Soul Resonance, wonderful as always. Bolt Blue, uh, the Fizz Jozo corner, um, of course, you Geek Hero and you Mammoth, third, fourth, uh, Bacon for coming to come on and chat it up with us. Uh, Zombie Collector 2.0. Who else showed up? Fire Devil and DBC and GT for life. Big thank you for hanging out in the chat with us. We appreciate you. Iron Inquisitor, uh, Omega Alpha Dog, and
Hey,
Omega Katana, James, and T Rex, Ace, our very own Silent Joker, and Grace, and I think that's it. Big thank you
hey,
to everybody who came. Oh yeah, yes, go ahead, Mammoth.
hey, can you call me on Discord like when we get off?
Yeah, I could do that. I'll have enough time to do that. But
Thanks.
also everybody who's been watching since the beginning of the stream, thank you. This was not easy to do, given the emotional outpour and everything. But this was a lot of fun talking and honoring a true legend of the anime industry. But I'm Anime Night 1992. Catch us on this Sunday for Nights in the Anime Table. We're gonna go live that day at 1:30 Mountain Standard Time. Um, Wonderful, wonderful community. Rest in peace, Toriyama. We love you.